You should check your phone.
For the love of God.
What's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. We recognize this has an impact beyond just us and never wanted our actions to cause any hurt or be perceived as careless.
I don't know what Amanda and Wes can say to, like, recover.
To be clear, are you two in love?
This isn't like a sex scandal. It was like hanging out.
Why continue to lie?
Literally.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who sits on girls to show them that he has a crush on them. You know who else does that? Gemma.
What advice would Rihanna give you today?
You're a bad bitch. That's what's up.
This is giving like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, it looks good.
Incredible, honestly.
KJ, you called Ciara and Mia your sisters for life. Which one is giving tough love and which one is letting you get away with everything?
Neither one of us. Neither one of us.
It's really bad. Jesse, what's going through your mind?
I feel like I'm losing a brother. I mean, I hope that you can somehow improve and prove us wrong, but it doesn't look good.
I thought I knew you, man. And I've been going back and forth between feeling concerned and betrayed.
And no one in this world has ever been in a situation like this before.
In high school, maybe.
Are we morally bankrupt?
Like,
no.
literally, no.
Got it.
Over the past 6 years, I have been your champion. I couldn't fathom that I would be sitting here pissed that you're my ex. He wants to embarrass me. He wants to get his last little word, and I hope it works because he's with you despite me.
I think I need to take a second.
Okay.
Wes, you're gonna go after her?
You should go after your girl.
Get up and go after her, Wes. Be a man.
This is so weird. How more awkward can this get?
Probably a little bit more.
You cannot be a good friend and treat the women that give themselves to you like they're expendable.
I felt embarrassed.
I mean, yeah, it's embarrassing.
Have you been faithful to her?
Yes.
No.
I wanted Amanda to know I had her back.
You are the most immature, fraudulent phony I've ever met.
I think I need to take a break.
You should go after your girl. It's nice to be able to move on with my life.
It kills me to know that I have caused you this pain.
No, it doesn't, Amanda.
I've been not clear with a zillion women that I've dated.
You still want to be with him? Like, he's hooking up with 4 different girls and your former best friend.
I hate when our 10-year relationship gets talked about as if it was 100% bad.
I didn't expect to get this emotional about it.
We have cookies.
Don't eat it yet. We're choosing.
You get to run amok because everyone's your friend.
To be clear.
And you get to manipulate people and say whatever you want to them and get whatever you want
That's
from
what seems
them.
so fraudulent.
Yeah.
It's like you
That's
tell
clearly
yourself
your MO.
something so you can be at peace with the schmuck that you are, but everybody else has a completely different interpretation of their relationship with you.
Well, also, Amanda, why are you doing this? Like, why? You went from being married, and I'm not saying your relationship is perfect, but you went from being married to being one of West Side bitches. That's crazy. This is unnecessary.
The statement came out incredibly rushed because of how insane it all became. Like,
You got smoked out.
So why did you feel
No, there was a video that was out there, and the last thing I wanted was for us to continue denying it and for this video of me taking in a very vulnerable, intimate situation to be used as blackmail or released publicly.
So how long were you denying it?
I don't know what the video was.
And would you even if the video didn't come out, or would you
1,000%. But if I could explain,
where was the apology for Ciara in the statement? Apology.
Because I asked you, because I sent you a text message and I asked you when the rumors came out, is this true? You were like,
and I
no,
denied
me and Wes
it,
are just
and I
friends.
100% denied it, and I lied
and
to
you
you.
were like, duh.
And
Like,
why
we're
did
best
you?
friends.
Why did you?
Because it was all so new and I was figuring it out. There were so many layers and complications to this. The fact that he was seeing other people, the fact that I was technically
Is that enough of complications and layers to go, what the fuck are we doing here?
Right, yeah.
Period.
We talked about it.
So it was so conscious that you guys talked about it. It wasn't just like a drunk hookup. You guys talked about it.
No,
it
all
know how
started
fucked up
with
and how fucking weird it would be, and you still did it. You chose to do it.
Okay, but guess what? Sometimes you can't help who you like and who you are attracted to. That was
You actually can't help that. You can't.
Not from what you said.
You actually can't help that.
So you
not from what
you
you
actually
said.
can't.
So
I wasn't married anymore, Ciara.
You're legal by the state of New York. You're still fucking.
So I'm sorry, but when I'm separated from someone, I have to stay celibate and single for the rest of my life until the judge signs paperwork.
Nobody was saying that you need to stay celibate or what the fuck ever. But there are a million other fucking guys in New York City. But you chose the one that, and you know how much that fucked me up. You chose the one guy.
I didn't choose.
I didn't. Fucking snake, Amanda. You're a snake in the fucking grass, is what you are. You're a snake in the fucking grass, and you should honestly just say okay because you know you are. You move silent, but you're fucking deadly.
When Ciara confronted you and said, "Is this happening?" and you denied, usual viewer of the show to look at the statement and say, "Well, that's weird that they didn't mention Ciara or Kyle or kind of acknowledge."
I feel like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you say people, okay, and listen, I handled it the way that I thought was the right thing to do, and if
Man, you're well spoken. That was a word salad.
100% was a word salad.
Okay,
It was 1,000% a word.
I physically with my own eyes saw you one night kissing and making out with Kyle and then leaving West.
I jokingly kissed Kyle.
It was multiple kisses and I was talking to you. Like, that's crazy to me. When was that?
But that wasn't like an intimate, romantic, like, that was a jokey.
Oh, because you're married. Everybody's your husband.
Can you stop saying that?
Okay, 28.
But you are married. That was your husband.
Guys,
Lindsay doesn't.
Kyle's making out with other people. Kyle's going out on dates, but let's come at me for this. Kyle's still married. Where's the hate for him? Where's the anger for him?
We should not 100%.
We are not together. We are separated. I have moved out.
I'm not dating Katie.
Okay.
Is he? But if he was, I mean, I guess it's fair game.
Katie's been my best friend since 3rd grade.
Katie's been my best friend since 3rd grade.
So the kiss was after.
No, I walked in.
I hope so.
We were coming from another bar. We walked into, it was me, Jesse, and a bunch of our friends. And, West and Amanda were sitting next to each other in a big,
This was when?
March
date?
February 28th.
February
We didn't make out. I was drunk. We were being silly. Yes.
Kissing the lips. And I was like, I'm going to go order like $300 worth of food because we're all going back to West. He was too fucked up to even speak. Literally.
When I got there was kissing and
Yeah,
food had already been.
and that was the first time I asked Amanda, like, are you hooking up with Wes? And she's like, no, Wes is just my boy.
Did a PR person help you with that statement?
Clearly not. I hope not. Clearly not.
Okay.
So then who wrote it? Both of y'all together?
ChatGPT. No,
University PR?
I was kidding.
You received. When did you find out that this statement was coming?
Less than 24 hours before it came out, Amanda texted me basically admitting that her and West are whatever.
Did you respond?
No.
She called me and then I had to wait 10 hours for my notification.
Can I back up for 1 second?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're all just like, bleh.
Yeah.
And we're bouncing around and shit is getting convoluted up here.
Okay.
I just want to slow down for 1 second.
Okay.
So, what I can't stop thinking about currently is the first statement, as we're talking about statements. When Amanda and Kyle put out the statement.
Yes.
So, what I'm hearing is that the first time Ciara, maybe Kyle, I don't know, whoever tracked your location spending the night at West was January 17th.
Didn't spend the night at West.
Oh, okay, whatever. I didn't.
But it's not whatever. I think this is very important details.
What is this?
It was unreasonable hours. hours. It wasn't unreasonable hours. I was not at West apartment until unreasonable hours.
That was after the summit.
Oh my god, it was a football game, and I was there with other fucking people.
Can I just say something? So I do want to clear something.
Okay, what's your point?
There is something that I think really matters.
I'm just asking, like...
Hold on for a second, because I think you bring up...
Kyle, can you talk about your conversation with Katie DeLuca when you called her and she let you know exactly what was going on then?
She came with Katie, she left with Katie.
So were you feeling...
Say you should say it louder. What?
I said I just won't answer questions anymore because every
Why?
time...
Were you
keep
what?
talking...
Being held accountable?
No,
People are asking
because I'm not having an opportunity to speak.
Did you feel bad?
Did I feel bad?
Yes.
No.
Lying to her.
If you can listen to what I'm saying instead of telling me that everything I'm saying is wrong, I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, then why am I here?
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I want to hear.
I don't, like, if I'm just going to be shot down every single time I say something, there's no point in me saying anything.
How sending the text to her saying no, nothing's going.
An immense amount of guilt. I was freaking out. Things were so fresh and new, and I was confused and didn't understand what was going on. The last thing I wanted to do was sit down with Ciara in that moment and be like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Should I have done that in hindsight? 100,000%. But I was terrified because I knew no matter what, this was going to be a friendship deal breaker for us. And that scared the shit out of me because I had already crossed the line.
It obviously didn't, but then you posted it all. You literally gallivanted around town.
Wasn't gallivanting. I was
gallivanting all on Instagram.
I literally thought it could not be true because of how much it was being rubbed in our face. Right up until the very fucking end. Like, who does that?
Hiding in plain sight. So, okay, well, let's talk about the statement.
Wanting.
Why did you feel the need to release the joint statement? And I mean, your statement was longer than the statement that you and Kyle put out and in your
2 months prior
relationship.
And where was no apology?
Yeah. Talk to me about why you needed to release that, and then I want to talk about what it said and what it didn't say.
I think the internet took this shit like incredibly far, and there started to be rumors about Amanda cheating, and a lot of things became.
Part 1 of the anticipated Summer House reunion premieres tomorrow, and Bravo just dropped some exclusive pre-reunion interviews with both West and Amanda that are not doing them any favors. Let's start off with Amanda. She shares that obviously this is the most nervous she has ever been, even though in this interview she seems pretty relaxed to me.
This is obviously the most nervous I've been.
She says she is most looking forward to clearing everything up, the timeline specifically, and that there was no affair and nothing malicious behind this.
Clearing up the timeline and that there's like no affair and nothing malicious, and it's just two people that have feelings for each other that shouldn't have.
I'm sorry, but Amanda, I think you are missing the point here. While yes, a lot of people have questions about the timeline, I honestly don't think there is a single thing that you can clear up that would make this situation better. She shared that her and West are just two people who have feelings for each other that shouldn't, and she wants to say her piece so other people may be able to walk away with more understanding. Like, seriously, please help me out here. What do we think that Amanda or West could possibly say for anyone to understand this better? Meanwhile, in West's interview, he definitely seems to be shaking in his boots. He is ready to get this over with, but also says that he wants to clear up the timeline.
I think the timeline of this very new relationship is important to address. There's a lot of different speculation, so.
And hopes his accountability and genuineness can earn him some points with the rest of the cast. Now, did you guys notice that not once neither West nor Amanda said they were ready to apologize to Ciara, and their sole focus is to clear up the timeline? When in reality, at this point, after all of the betrayal and everything that we witnessed go down this season, that is the least of our worries. I don't know, guys, if the intention of these clips were to rile us up, they definitely succeeded.
Hey guys, welcome back to Reality Charm. Today, we need to talk about what might be one of the messiest, most unexpected Bravo scandals in a very long time, the one fans are calling Scamanda. And trust me, this isn't just messy, it's layers on layers of history, relationships, and straight up chaos involving the show Summer House. So we're going to break this all the way down from the beginning to the timeline to what just blew up. If you're confused, you are not alone. So let's get into it. First, we need context because none of this drama makes sense without understanding the foundation of one of Bravo's longest running relationships, Amanda Batula and Kyle Cooke. These two go all the way back to before the show even started. They met, I guess Amanda had a share house somewhere close by. They would kind of date, they broke up, and then like a true reality TV love story, they circled back around. By the time Summer House starts filming, basically their entire relationship is unfolding on camera. And it's already complicated from the jump. Kyle is openly admitting that he spent half the summer hooking up with Amanda and the other half hooking up with other girls. But somehow that is what makes him realize he wants to be with just Amanda. Classic Bravo logic. So they were kind of like a hookup situation. But despite all the chaos, they go official and they go from there. Amanda becomes an official cast member and their relationship becomes the backbone of the show. So we watched the cheating rumors, the screaming fights, the emotional breakdowns, the engagement, the wedding. Like, this relationship has been through it. But fast forward to the most recent season, and things are not looking good. The fighting just feels heavier, the resentment is there, and by around late 2025, reports started coming out that they had separated, with Amanda even moving out, and they end up issuing a statement in January 2026. At this point, they had been together for about 10 years. And people were rooting for Amanda to have some type of Ariana Madix kind of glow up, but it all went downhill and in the garbage due to, in my opinion, a bad decision. Now, on to the other side of the house, we have a completely different relationship that somehow ends up colliding with this one. We're talking about Ciara Miller and West Wilson. Their story starts in 2023 during season 8, which was West's first season. At first, it looks like your typical summer fling, fun, flirty, not too serious, but then it started getting deeper. Ciara meets his parents, they're spending real time together, and it feels like it could actually turn into something. Except West is not on the same page. By December 2023, he ends things, and his reasoning was apparently commitment issues. Ciara, on the other hand, is super clear. She was intentional and wanted something real, not just casual. So right there, we already have some tension. Then going into early 2024, things get worse. The breakup becomes public right before the season airs, which is super awkward. And then at the reunion, everything comes out. Ciara reveals that West basically said he couldn't commit because of show-related reasons, which fans and the cast did not like. And then West gives an interview that makes things even worse with, I believe, the New York Times, and suddenly the internet turns on him. So by mid-2024, their relationship is donezo, and there's some bad blood there. But we're jumping now to 2025, because in 2025, the summer, the season airing right now, there seemed to be some rekindling. It was in the trailer. It just seemed like things were going to stir up again between West and Ciara, and people were rooting for that. But we kind of get whiplash from that because rumors then start percolating that West might be getting a little bit too close to Amanda. Yes, that Amanda. At first, people did not believe it. Nobody, it was very far-fetched, to be honest, because, you know, nothing made sense about it. The timelines, the friendships, because she was so close to Ciara, and it just felt really random. Out of nowhere, You know, after weeks of escalating rumors that no one believed, Amanda and West dropped a pretty controversial joint statement. And that is what really sent the internet into a spiral. They say that their connection grew out of a long-standing friendship and that their feelings evolved and that they wanted to take time to understand it. But here's the thing. They didn't say, oh, we're in a relationship. There's no timeline, no clear explanation, no accountability, no sorry for hurting everyone, just vibes. And so fans were really shook and blindsided. And even the cast, apparently they were still denying the whole thing to the cast. And so everyone was shocked and everyone was picking sides, mostly, basically everyone's on Ciara's side at this point. Their reactions were brutal. There were reports of celebrities, even Rihanna, unfollowing Amanda. Cast members start reacting online with these memes. Jesse Solomon posts a shock reaction and claims he had no idea this was happening, even though West is supposedly his best friend, which is a little bit far-fetched. I feel like he must have known. And other Bravo personalities make it clear they're standing with Ciara. And speaking of Ciara, she's right back in the middle of it, because there are also rumors that she and West may have hooked up again very recently, which unfortunately could mean that there was some overlap there. So that is just very messy, and it's a full-on love triangle. Then we get Kyle's reaction, and this is where things get kind of surprising, because Kyle was actually very likable in this random street side interview. And instead of being angry or messy, he actually seemed really concerned. He talks about Amanda struggling mentally, dealing with hate online, and he even having dark thoughts. And basically is asking fans to back off. Kept noting that Amanda's getting so much hate online, but West gained 50,000 followers. Like, that's like such a big, it's like the main point. Oh my gosh, how did he get 50,000 new followers from this? Who knows what this even means for Summer House? How could they possibly go in a summer house together if the vibes are so wrong? I don't even know how they'll arrange the reunion seating, because the reunion is coming soon, and obviously it's going to be great. Apparently Amanda is scheduled to film and show her face, but at the same time, you know, Kyle also says he's disappointed in her, so it's a weird mix of support, hurt, reality. I mean, he must be very hurt. Meanwhile, the chaos continues. There are more rumors popping up on Deux Mois. Cast members promoting their own projects in the middle of the drama. Kyle created new merch and is trying to use this opportunity to save Loverboy, and why not at this point? Jesse is promoting his music. Paige and Hannah talked about supporting Ciara on their podcast Giggly Squad, and Lindsay is just using social media. I don't know what she's doing, but she is posting, and it starts to feel like everyone is just reacting to this in a very different way. It's giving Scandoval 2.0, and that's when it crosses from drama to full Bravo madness. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts on Scamanda, and please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more of these hot topics. Bye, guys!
Ciara, raise your hand. Team Amanda, raise your hand.
Fans everywhere are glued to their TVs.
People explode.
And their phones, dissecting every moment from this season of Bravo's reality TV juggernaut, Summer House.
You're a snake in the grass is what you are.
Watching relationships tear apart at the seams right before our eyes at the cast reunion.
You are the most immature, fraudulent phony I've ever met. So shut the up.
The scandal enveloping the show, the relationship between castmates Amanda Batula and West Wilson.
This is like if Gayle King started dating Oprah's boyfriend Stedman. This is like if
Selena Gomez started dating Travis Kelce or if LeBron James started dating Gabrielle Union.
Summer House is usually known for its over-the-top, costume-filled parties.
Phenomenal.
This is the most impressive.
As New York City 20 and 30-somethings take a break from the Big Apple in the luxury of the Hamptons, it's always had explosive drama.
Summer should be fun. Amanda, not fun.
But nothing like this. When Amanda and West confirmed their newfound relationship status on Instagram in March, it rocked every corner of the internet.
Is nothing hurts like a friendship betrayal.
Ew, it's true. It's not an April Fool's joke. What? I'm sorry, Amanda and West, like, get out of my face. Get out of my face. Are you kidding me?
It also rocked Amanda's estranged husband, fellow cast member Kyle Cooke, and one of her closest friends on the show, Ciara Miller. Ciara is also an ex of Amanda's now boyfriend, West. Got that?
As a viewer, the girls seemed super close. They were really there for each other.
Ciara often a sounding board for Amanda as she navigated her tumultuous marriage to Kyle.
I just fear that I'm not enough for anyone else.
And that's
Amanda.
not true. I feel like that is a confidence thing.
The Summer House scandal is a story of betrayal. It's a story of, divorce. It's a story of a friendship breakup, and it's a story of a rebound relationship.
Feverish fans weighing in, even celebrities like John Hamm on Watch What Happens Live.
Team Ciara, for sure.
The show's so popular, even the mayor of New York City knows who Ciara Miller is, a nurse during COVID before reality fame hit.
Thank you for saving people's lives. She was a nurse.
Yes, that is true.
Some comparing it to the so-called Scandoval from Vanderpump Rules.
I don't give a
About Raquel! Your friendship is bullshit!
No, it's not!
Yes, it is!
A reality TV surprise that's penetrated pop culture.
I am shaking. I am physically shaking.
So be honest, y'all think Amanda and Wes thought they were gonna get away with this?
Fans and non-fans alike playing armchair detective.
I think it's the ultimate betrayal.
For these superfans, this isn't just a venue to watch their favorite show.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it. The double door upstairs.
So many important conversations happens in this very corner. So much drama.
It's the ultimate fan experience at the actual Sag Harbor mansion where the cast parties all summer long.
All right, we are on our way out to the Hamptons.
This group of teachers from Queens now road tripping.
Summer should be fun. Amanda, not fun.
To the legendary Summer House to watch all the drama unfold on the series they've followed for all 10 seasons.
We're just like super fans and can't wait to cry and scream and have a lover boy of a good time.
I think the relatability is what makes people obsessed and what captivates the audience. I think that we can all relate in some capacity, whether we're an Amanda or a Ciara or even a West.
We're gonna focus on the 4 people that this drama really involves. We have Kyle Cooke, Amanda Batula, West Wilson, and Ciara Miller.
Abby Bonadies knows pop culture. In fact, she's made a career out of it, explaining the ins and outs of celebrity entanglements.
Kendall Jenner may actually be dating Jacob Elordi.
We asked Abby to break down the Summer House drama.
Kyle and Amanda have been on Summer House since season 1. They started in a relationship and we watched them get engaged and married on the show.
They know kids.
And when it comes to friendships here, they run really deep. Ciara and Amanda are best friends, and Kyle and West are also really good friends. Earlier this year, it was announced that Kyle and Amanda were separating and on their way to divorce.
Shortly after their split, rumors swirl online, speculating that Amanda and West had started dating. West refuting the rumors in an appearance on Watch What Happens Live.
That's a very important person to me, and I, care about her a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your homegirl.
Right. Okay. As opposed to your romantic.
Correct.
Yes.
That's what the streets want to know.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
no. That's a friend.
Eventually, the two posted jaw-dropping statements simultaneously to each of their Instagram accounts, saying, quote, "We've shown up for each other as friends over the years, through all the highs and lows. And what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected."
Not only has this hurt Kyle because they were obviously married, it has really hurt Ciara and Amanda's friendship because now Amanda is with Ciara's ex-boyfriend. This has also hurt Kyle and West's friendship because West is now with Kyle's ex-wife.
Kyle soon gave his unfiltered take in an interview with Adam Glynn.
It's not just me, Amanda, Wes here. It's like our whole friend group. I mean, Carl's a mess.
And Ciara seemingly addressing the scandal at HBO's Euphoria red carpet.
I mean, if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend,
It's not good.
what do you think is the next step? I feel like you ought to get married.
The Yes Network capturing the two at a Yankees game. This TMZ video showing them in Italy together. All of this coming to light shortly after season 10 premiered, which depicts the group last summer, before any of the latest drama had begun.
It is genuinely bizarre. It's like a Christopher Nolan movie, watching two timelines.
It's just a dream, then why are you
Because it's never just a dream, is it?
This current season, between Ciara and West, we actually started to see a little bit of rekindling.
With rumors confirmed, viewers are now taking a closer look at each episode, dissecting West and Amanda's friendship, speculating on when this all really started.
The fact that these two are denying that anything happened last summer is such a joke because we're literally watching it in 4K.
The 3-part reunion currently airing is the first time the cast has faced off since learning of Amanda and West's secret relationship.
So who made the first move?
When we were out, I kind of looked at Amanda and I was like, am I crazy or is there a little something going on here?
ABC News reached out to representatives for Amanda, West, Ciara, and Kyle. None had any comment.
The value in reality TV is that we're all so managed and self-conscious and image conscious, and you can turn on Bravo or, Netflix or Hulu or something and see real people living out real stories in real lives in a way that does not always feel super managed.
After the news broke, Ciara first spoke out in a Glamour magazine article written by Hunter Harris.
The emotions in Ciara that I observed were still very raw. She definitely seemed, extremely thoughtful, very careful, very conscientious.
But it's far from a tragic ending. Ciara now moving on to bigger and better things, from an upcoming stint on Dancing with the Stars.
I know all about twists and turns, so my competition better watch out.
To landing a Sonic commercial with fellow Bravo reality TV alum, Ariana Madix.
Dumped your baggage? Sip to that with frozen Sonic refreshers.
And even starring in Shabuzi's new music video for Cowgirl.
Wild little cowgirl, shoot 'em up, darling, man. I wanna see you dance.
I think the way Ciara will come out of this is on top. Her career really is flourishing, and I think that it will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the years go on.
Snake, Amanda. You're a snake in the grass. Like, she's very mute. She's gonna be that weak figure that he needs. And honestly, claps to you.
That was harsh.
What Bravo actually did in the editing room for the Summer House Season 10 Reunion Part 1 is honestly a masterclass in reality TV editing. If you only watch the televised episode, you probably think you saw a pretty straightforward, explosive showdown between Ciara and Amanda. You watch Ciara throw out the snake in the grass label, clap her hands in absolute frustration, and drop that devastating, weak, mute figure monologue that left Kyle whispering, "That was harsh," while the camera zoomed in on Amanda's tears. But what you watched on TV, that was the clean, packaged, Bravo-approved version of events. When you strip away the network polish and dissect the raw, leaked audio, a completely different reality emerges. Nobody in that room came out with clean hands. We are not here to pick sides or crown a villain. We're just looking at what actually happened versus what they showed us and why those two things are not the same. The first thing Bravo quietly buried is the one piece of context that explains why Ciara reacts the way she does, and without it, she just looks like she's overreacting. In the aired version, Amanda tries to defend herself by throwing out what sounds like a simple throwaway line.
Sometimes you can't help who you like and who you are attracted to.
You actually can't help it.
So when
you're married, you actually can't help
The
it.
broadcast makes it look like Ciara just flatly shuts it down because she's angry. But the leak exposes the real connective tissue that Bravo completely sliced out. In the raw audio, right after Amanda says that line, she fires back at Ciara with a highly pointed jab.
Okay, but guess what? Sometimes you can't help who you like and who you are attracted to.
You actually can't help it. You can't.
Not from what you said.
Not from what you've said. To understand why that matters, you have to look back at the actual facts of the season. In Season 10, Episode 7, during a highly vulnerable group dinner, Ciara opened up to the cast about the intense public scrutiny and racial blowback she faced as a black woman dating West publicly on national television.
Very racial, obviously being in this position. Like, I was the first black person in this house. The hardest thing with, like, the me and West situation is that, like, everyone's always just like, oh, you, like, let a white man play you on national TV. You can't help who you love. You can't help, like, who you are attracted to sometimes.
Amanda didn't just stumble into an accidental romance, she deliberately archived her friend's deepest on-camera vulnerability and weaponized it at the reunion to excuse her own actions. Amanda tried to use Ciara's past words as a shield, essentially saying, "You told me attraction is uncontrollable when it came to your struggles, so you can't blame me for jumping into bed with him now." Ciara's anger was not random, but was a direct reaction to her own words being twisted and used against her. Amanda twisting an intimate conversation about race and public pressure to justify pursuing her close friend's very recent acts. By cutting that specific back-and-forth loop, Bravo made Amanda's defense look like a vague feelings argument and made Ciara look like she was just being emotional with no real basis, when in reality, Ciara was reacting to something very specific and very calculated.
You're a snake in the grass, and you should honestly just say okay.
What happened in that room also looked nothing like the clean two-person fight Bravo put on television. The aired version keeps the whole thing focused on Ciara and Amanda going at each other, which makes for tight, easy-to-follow TV. But the actual leaked audio is chaotic. It is loud. The whole cast is in it at the same time.
Where was the apology for Ciara in the statement? Apology.
Because I asked you, because I sent you a text message and I asked you when the rumors came out, is this true? You were like,
and I
no,
denied
me
it.
West are just
and I 100% denied it, and I lied to you.
And you were like, duh.
And
like,
why did you?
Because it was all so new, and I was figuring it out. There were so many layers and complications to this. The fact that he was seeing other people, the fact that I was technically
Is that enough of
still
complications
married.
and layers to go, what the fuck are we doing here?
Right, yeah.
Period.
We talked about
And
it.
what they are doing is not just chiming in. They are all piling on together from every direction until Amanda basically has no room left to breathe.
If you could listen to what I'm saying instead of telling me that everything I'm saying is wrong, I would greatly appreciate that.
In the aired version, Kyle comes across as the quiet, hurt ex-husband sitting to the side, mostly staying out of it. That is not what the leak shows. In the raw audio, Kyle is not quiet at all. He directly calls Amanda and Wes's behavior fraudulent.
To be clear. And you get to manipulate people and say whatever you want to them and get whatever you want
That's
from
what seems
them.
so fraudulent.
Yeah.
It's like you
that's
tell
literally
yourself
your MO.
something so you can be at peace with the schmuck that you are, but everybody else has a completely different interpretation of their relationship with you.
That is Kyle, her estranged husband, someone who has known her for years and built this show with her. That line never made it to the aired episode. The aired episode makes Amanda look like a sympathetic target of one woman's wrath, whereas the raw audio sounds like an entire room of peers stripping away her defenses. And even though this is only part 1 with 2 more reunion episodes left, it already feels obvious Bravo is shaping a very specific narrative around Amanda and how they want viewers to see her. One of the biggest arguments on the aired reunion is about the joint statement dropped on March 31st confirming the romance. The aired version handles this like a straightforward timeline conversation. The leaked audio tells a very different story about how and why that statement actually came out. In the second leaked clip, Amanda tells the cast there was a video, footage of her in what she described as a very vulnerable, intimate situation that she was scared would be used as blackmail or released publicly without her consent. That is the actual reason the statement came out when it did. Not because they sat down together and decided to do the right thing, not because the internet got too loud, because Amanda believed someone had footage of her and the situation was no longer in their hands.
The statement came out incredibly rushed because of how insane it all became. Like,
You got smoked out.
So why did you feel?
No, there was a video that was out there, and the last thing I wanted was for us to continue denying it and for this video of me taking in a very vulnerable, intimate situation to be used as blackmail or released publicly.
That entire exchange, the video, the blackmail fear, the panic, does not exist anywhere in the aired episode. Bravo removed it completely. Which means every single person who watched part 1 went in thinking Amanda and Wes came forward because they chose to. The leak says they came forward because they felt like they had no other option. There's also the conversation about the statement itself that the broadcast softened considerably. In the leaked audio, Amanda openly called the statement a word salad, her words, not ours. She even joked that they used ChatGPT to write it, before quickly trying to walk it back. What aired was Carl's cleaner line about it being like singing Happy Birthday without saying anyone's name. That's a pointed observation, but it's a lot easier to hear than Amanda laughing about her own half-hearted apology and then having to pretend she was joking. The final shot of Amanda in the aired episode is her in tears, looking like someone who got hit by something she didn't see coming. The leaked audio says she saw it coming the whole time and made her peace with it. Now, obviously, this is only part 1. Bravo has 2 more episodes to work with, and could surface some of this later. But when you line up the raw audio against what actually aired, the pattern is hard to ignore.
Do whatever you need to do to climb the ladder.
And then there is West, who somehow ends up as the least talked about person in a mess he built from scratch. While Amanda and Ciara are going back and forth about loyalty and weak figures, the one person with the most to answer for is sitting mostly quiet. West is the only person in that room who had the full picture at every single point in this story. He was flirting with Ciara on camera all summer. The finale makeout, the sleepovers, all of it. He was building something with Amanda off camera at the same time. And he was seeing MEAWW Moreno, who told Page 6 they were exclusive right up until late March. He spent the night with MEAWW the night before his Watch What Happens live appearance, where he wore the horsehair ties she made for him, sat across from Andy Cohen on live TV, and denied that he and Amanda were anything. The final edit centers the drama on Amanda's betrayal of a friendship, but the receipts show West was operating on a level of calculated clout chasing that Lindsay flatly calls out. He ran a 3-way parallel play to secure his position on the show. Because Amanda and Ciara are performing their pain so loudly, West is allowed to blend into the background, playing the passive spectator to a war he completely engineered. The accountability moments the broadcast gives him, where he admits to things one by one, all come from Andy Cohen asking him direct questions. Left to himself, in the raw audio, he contributes almost nothing. Bravo is not some neutral camera crew just pointing lenses at real life. They are a TV network. They have a show to protect, ratings to chase, and, let's not forget, they need you tuning in for Part 2 and Part 3. So look at what actually got cut. Kyle calling West a schmuck to his face? Gone. Amanda laughing about her own apology being a word salad? Gone. The fact that there was a video, that Amanda was scared it would be used against her, that the whole statement came out because they got smoked out? Gone. The 4 words, not from what you've said, the only words that explain why Ciara reacted the way she did, gone. And the fact that West sat in a room full of people he hurt and barely opened his mouth unless Andy Cohen made him, also gone. Pull all of that out, and what do you have left? A woman crying on television while one other woman reads her for filth.
You're the most immature, fraudulent phony I've ever met.
Wanted Amanda to know I had her back when, I thought Kyle was being a dickhead.
The more you watch the Summer House reunion knowing what got cut, the more it stops looking like a messy reality TV blow-up and starts looking like a very carefully managed one. Parts 1 and 2 have now aired. The private video conversation? Still not there. And what that tells us about Part 2 is actually more revealing than anything that successfully made it to air. Before getting into the meat of this breakdown, we need to clear something up from the last video. A lot of comments said the footage wasn't really cut, that it was all there on the Peacock extended version. Well, not exactly. The Peacock cut runs a few minutes longer than the Bravo broadcast, but it is still a network edit. Bravo had to approve every second of it. The leaked production audio discussed in Part 1, the conversation about a private video, the fear around that footage being used as leverage, the back and forths that completely reframe the emotional stakes of what you watched. None of that exists in either version. Not Bravo, not Peacock. Both versions are missing the same things. This channel was never comparing Bravo to Peacock. It was comparing both of them to the raw audio. And now that Part 2 is aired, we can see exactly what that comparison reveals. The Part 2 of Summer House Reunion did something very specific with the race conversation that Part 1 set up. Bravo gave Ciara real space to talk about her experience. She spoke about the racial dynamics inside that friend group, the extra layers of being a black woman and interracial friendships and relationships. The point she said she hit where she stopped sugarcoating it.
I actually don't want to be friends if we're not talking about the political climate of this world, because there's a whole other layer that we experience it in. If I'm having white friends in this day and age, like, we're talking about race, how can we not? I'm not going to sugarcoat things anymore.
It was real. It mattered. The audience felt it. And Bravo gets to say, correctly, that they addressed it. But Amanda's line, the direct callback to Ciara's episode 7 moment, the one that showed Amanda had lifted that specific vulnerability and repurposed it for herself, that line is still gone from both the Bravo cut and the Peacock cut.
You can't help who you like and who you are attracted to. That was
You actually can help it. You can.
Not from what you said.
So what Bravo aired was the empathy without the evidence, the conversation about race without the moment that showed someone using another person's racial experience as a rhetorical shield. One of those things builds sympathy, the other builds accountability. Bravo chose which one to air. That is what Part 1 was pointing at, and Part 2 just confirmed it. Now, here is what Part 2 actually shows us about the rest of those cuts, because this is where the puzzle pieces start coming together. Throughout Part 2, Amanda is on the couch explaining, defending, crying, apologizing. West Wilson is mostly sitting next to her in silence. Carl Radke said it in a post-reunion interview. He was hoping to feel the feeling you get when someone actually takes accountability.
I think a lot of us were hoping to feel the feeling you get when someone actually apologizes and takes accountability. I mean, especially watching it now, I didn't feel it. You know, that's what's hard. People are really hurt.
Essentially meaning the aired version does not reflect the accountability that was demanded. So we have the cast saying the accountability conversation happened but didn't fully land. We have a leaked audio that contains a much more serious conversation that never aired. And we have Andy Cohen on April 24th saying the audience would see it all in due time, while the thing that would have changed the entire framing of Amanda's situation still hasn't appeared in either broadcast version. Here is why that specific cut matters so much. The leaked audio from Part 1 contained Amanda talking about a private video and the fear of that footage being used against her.
No, there was a video that was out there, and the last thing I wanted was for us to continue denying it and for this video of me taking in a very vulnerable, intimate situation to be used as blackmail or released public.
That is not messy reality TV drama. That is a conversation that sits in the same territory as several lawsuits Bravo has faced in recent years. Rachel Leviss in the FaceTime video in the Scandoval aftermath, the wave of legal action from 2023 to 2025 involving non-consensual material and workplace safety. When that kind of language gets said on a reunion stage, network legal teams pay attention. Airing it means potentially anchoring yourself to a criminal or civil proceeding. Not airing it means the version of Amanda the audience sees is a woman who made a bad romantic decision, not a woman navigating something with potentially serious legal dimensions. Those are two very different stories. Bravo aired one of them. What Part 2 did instead, and this is where the edit reveals its logic, is give the audience West Wilson on trial. Dara Levitan, who dated West, stood up and said his entire way of operating is built around being liked.
It is the West show. The biggest concern of his consistently is being well liked and well received. It's up to you to decide what's worth sacrificing for that kind of person.
KJ Dillard made it personal, compared the pattern to his own father, talked about what that kind of man costs a family.
My dad was a very womanizing player. I grew up watching that firsthand, and it destroyed my family.
The room was full of people saying real things about West Wilson, and West mostly sat there and absorbed it. That is the thing to hold on to. Not that the cast went in on him, they did, and it was warranted, but that for all of that, West was not pressed the way Andy Cohen pressed Tom Sandoval at the Vanderpump Rules Scandoval reunion. There was no sustained receipts on the table interrogation. West cut space to be vague. He offered partial agreements, which are actually more slippery than denials, because you can't argue with someone who's nodding along while saying nothing concrete. This is the same thing West did at the Season 8 reunion, sitting quietly while things fell apart around him. The pattern is documented. The edit let him run it again. Why would the edit do that? West Wilson is appearing on the Bravo spinoff In the City. He's new enough to the franchise that he hasn't been fully built up yet, which means he also hasn't been fully burned down yet. A West Wilson who gets the complete Sandoval treatment, relentless, no exit, publicly destroyed, is a West Wilson with no future on the network. The edit doesn't have to be a grand conspiracy to protect him. It just has to be practical business.
Clearly define when you guys are exclusive.
Yeah, we were literally dating last summer.
Then comes the MEAWW Marino FaceTime. And this is the most important moment in part 2, not for what it revealed, but for how it was revealed. The facts of MEAWW's situation are documented. She and West met at Montana State University in 2023. By summer 2025, while season 10 was filming in the Hamptons, she says West was calling her her girlfriend. She was at his apartment every weekend he came back from filming. She built furniture in his place. Kyle confirmed he had receipts establishing they were exclusive since at least February 2025. On March 24, 2026, West appeared on Watch What Happens Live wearing one of MEAWW's custom horsehair ties, she's the founder of Snarl Studios, and called her his friend on air. 1 week later, he and Amanda released their joint statement. When Ciara asked MEAWW on the FaceTime why West kept the relationship secret, MEAWW said he told her he'd get fired if he was publicly with someone outside the Bravo world. He also told her he was protecting her, that going public would pit her against Ciara and expose her to fan scrutiny. He used weaponized concern for her as the reason she had to stay invisible. She couldn't push back on being hidden because he framed hiding her as a favor to her. The same image management, dressed up to look like considerate. But here's the production question that part 2 doesn't ask on screen. Kyle said he'd been in contact with MEAWW for a week before the reunion taped. The reunion was a 10-hour production day on April 23rd. Bravo's own executive said in his THR interview that production was in the room and scrambling to capture reactions. The idea that MEAWW's FaceTime during a lunch break was a spontaneous discovery that cameras just happened to catch, that is a version of events worth examining. What it does for Bravo is significant. The bombshell drops, the cliffhanger lands, and production's hands look clean because the cast found out on their own. Nobody had to manufacture it. It just happened, during a break, on camera. That is the same logic as the rest of the edit. The things that serve the story get captured. The things that complicate the network's position don't make air. Part 3 airs June 9th. West goes back to that couch knowing the room has already spoken to MEAWW. The question is not whether there will be a confrontation, there will. The question is whether Part 3 finally gives the audience what the leaked audio suggested was in that room on April 23rd, or whether it gives them something that feels like a resolution without actually being one. Andy Cohen said we'd see it all in due time. Part 3 is the last chance for that to be true. Over 1,000 people found this channel through Part 1 in just a few days. It means a lot of people watched that reunion and felt like something wasn't adding up. They just couldn't put their finger on exactly what. That's the whole reason this channel exists.
Are you on a bunch of beta blockers or what?
I did take beta blocker.
Or you're just a sociopath.
I'm not like sobbing this moment. This matters to me.
Going into reunion Part 3, everybody thought we were finally getting answers. Was Amanda actually sorry? Was West finally going to tell the truth? Could Ciara ever forgive either of them? And after 3 reunion episodes, 10 hours of filming, leaked audio, FaceTime, screenshots, tears, receipts, accusations, apologies, and enough emotional damage to keep 3 therapists employed for the next decade, something very strange happened. We somehow know more than ever, and understand less than ever. Think about where we ended. Amanda and West are apparently together, but they're not in love. They're exclusive, but not really sure where things are going. West admitted he lied, but somehow also argued he wasn't technically wrong. Ciara says she's moving on, but never actually got an answer. Kyle is crying on one couch, Amanda is crying on another couch, West is sitting between them looking like he accidentally wandered into the wrong Zoom meeting. And Lindsay basically says what a lot of viewers were probably thinking at home.
Andy, I didn't learn anything. I just feel like there's not a lot of clarity.
Really?
Yeah.
We still don't have answers. And that's when it sticks. The biggest thing exposed by this reunion wasn't Amanda or Ciara or West. It wasn't even Bravo. It was the fact that modern reality television has figured out something incredibly useful. You don't actually need accountability anymore. You just need something that looks enough like accountability for the audience to accept it. And nowhere is that more obvious with West Wilson. Because after 3 reunion episodes, West accidentally revealed the single most effective survival strategy in modern reality television. Say almost nothing. Every time somebody came after him,
You're good at pulling girls. Do whatever you need to do to climb the ladder.
He lies to everyone, but then he puts on this persona.
He is linked to romantically with the same respect as he does anybody else.
Like I'm losing a brother.
It just doesn't feel like you kind of understand the gravity of what's happened.
he didn't even really defend himself. He nodded, half agreed, said something vague, and moved on. It was honestly kind of impressive. Not morally impressive, strategically impressive. Because you can't pin a receipt to somebody who never takes a position. You can't corner somebody who refuses to stand in a corner.
Give me a break. This kid parties twice as hard as I do.
Well, that's not what I've
And I say kid because you are the most immature, fraudulent phony I've ever met.
By the end of the reunion, nobody could point to a moment where West completely crashed out. Nobody got their big confession, because West spent the entire reunion operating in a completely different mode.
Everybody's so emotional around you, and you're like this. I'm just curious what's going
Andy
on.
literally asks West if he's on medication because he's somehow the only person in the room not falling apart emotionally.
Are you on a bunch of beta blockers or what?
I did take beta blocker.
Ciara calls him a sociopath.
You're just a sociopath.
But hold on, that tiny moment might actually be the most revealing moment in the entire reunion. It's not the medication that matters. People take beta blockers for anxiety. That's not the story. The story is what he said right after.
I'm trying to stay composed as much as possible.
He didn't say he struggles with anxiety, or that high-pressure situations are hard for him. He said he needed to manage how emotional he looked on camera, at his own accountability session, for his own mess he built. This is a reunion centered around a scandal that, whether people like it or not, largely revolves around West. People are hurt.
He wants to embarrass me. He wants to get his last little words.
Friendships have blown up. Jesse is crying. Kyle has cried multiple times. Ciara is telling Amanda about the night Lindsay had to pick her up off the bathroom floor. And through it all, Wes barely seems shaken. Not detached exactly, just controlled. Almost like no matter what got thrown at him, he wasn't going to give anybody the reaction they were looking for. Not a person who got caught and feels terrible, but someone who got caught and prepared. He wasn't there to win the argument, but to survive it. Huge difference. Because modern reality stars don't survive scandals by proving they're innocent anymore. They become impossible to emotionally engage with. And that leads directly into the most fascinating defense West used all night, the loopholes defense. When the conversation turned to MEAWW, eventually West admitted things that would have buried most reality stars. He admitted he was seeing other women. He admitted he lied. He admitted people got hurt.
And so you were dating her, and you were
secretively,
she
yes.
thought that you were exclusive, but you were seeing a lot of women.
For 14 months. Not a lot, but
you were seeing other women.
Correct.
And then, somehow, his defense became, well, technically.
I would also like to say girlfriend is
Yeah,
not-
because you have loopholes. Because you have loopholes.
A normal person asked, did I hurt people? A loophole person asked, can I prove I didn't violate the exact wording of the agreement? Which brings us to Amanda. Because for all the attention on West, Part 3 accidentally revealed something much more interesting. The question the whole reunion kept circling was, why did Amanda do this? Was she manipulated? Was she vulnerable post-separation? Did she understand what she was causing? But by Part 3, that's the wrong question, because by Part 3, Amanda wasn't discovering new information anymore. She knew Ciara's story. She knew MEAWW's story. She knew Kyle's concerns. She knew Lindsay's concerns. She knew Jesse's concerns. The information phase was over. The decision phase had already begun. Yet she stayed. And that's what made Carl's question so uncomfortable.
And you still want to be with him, like, after all this shit, Amanda? You see this behavior? He's hooking up with 4 different girls and your former best friend. That's fucking crazy.
Okay.
At some point, people start asking something harder. Not did we deceive, but knowing all of this, why are you still here? And that question never really got answered either. Which brings us to perhaps the most important moment in the entire reunion, the question Mia Calabrese asked. Because if you've watched parts 1 and 2 on this channel, you already know about the leaked audio. You already know about the private video conversation. You already know about the panic surrounding that public statement. And then suddenly, Mia asks the exact question nobody wanted to touch. Did you go public because it had more to do with showing accountability for their friends or getting ahead of the rumored video?
Amanda and West,
Did you honestly just come forward because you guys, there was so much speculation, or were you guys gonna continue to lie to us?
And that moment came forward because of the speculation, because there were a lot of things that I was still trying to understand and figure out.
Mia Calabrese got closer to the actual question than 3 hours of reunion coverage did. And the Bravo gave us a sidestep, not the answer. And that sidestep wasn't even the first one. Take a beat back at how part 2 concluded. Ciara and Kyle got MEAWW on FaceTime. Kyle said they were planning to confront West after the break. Part 2 ended on that cliffhanger. The setup was right there. So going into part 3, a lot of viewers expected a full West versus MEAWW showdown. That's what Bravo sold you. That's what the edit promised. Instead, that material felt mostly flat, like something we've already seen before, and the central question from the leaked audio still doesn't get a direct answer on air. It's not an accident, it's become a pattern. And once you see that pattern, the rest of part 3 starts looking very different, because the most emotional moment in the entire reunion wasn't even Amanda and West, it was Kyle. When Kyle broke down talking about their 10-year relationship being reduced to a highlight reel of mistakes, when Amanda walked over, when they hugged, sources said you could literally hear their heartbeats through the microphones. Think about how insane that is. After 3 reunion episodes focused on Amanda and West, the most emotionally intimate moment involved Amanda and her ex-husband, not the couple at the center of the story, her ex-husband. There seemed to be more genuine love in that hug than in the relationship the reunion was supposedly defending, and Bravo aired every second of it. Which is interesting, because edits tell stories, and that hug tells a story. Kyle gets positioned as sympathetic, just in time for In the City. Ciara gets positioned as healed and ready to move on. Amanda gets positioned as conflicted. West gets positioned as trying. Everybody gets a role. Everybody gets an ending, or at least something that resembles one. But this is what that positioning is actually doing. Bravo pushed the 2 people who were genuinely hurt, Kyle and Ciara, to perform catharsis and closure on camera so that the show can cleanly reset for next season. The network needed the victims to do the emotional labor of forgiveness so that the people who caused the damage could stay clean enough to remain on television. Ciara's emotional breakthrough doesn't just feel like a personal moment, but the ending the show needed. The same goes for Kyle. His reunion arc isn't just about heartbreak, but about getting him to a place where viewers can root for him again. And that brings us to Bravo's most important edit of the entire reunion. You might think that the biggest thing they cut was not from what you said, or the private video, or some other critical stuff. But the biggest thing Bravo edited out of this reunion was the ending. Think about what happened the second part 3 was over. Bravo announced Summer House: The Aftermath. Another episode, another conversation, another special, another chance to keep watching. Across 3 50-minute reunion episodes, 10 hours of filming, months of scandal, somehow we're still not done. The reunion couldn't even function as a reunion anymore. It became a trailer for another episode. They didn't resolve the train wreck on the couch. They cleared the tracks so they could sell you the wreckage again next week. Because today's reality TV doesn't sell answers. Answers are finite. Answers mean the story is over. Instead, it sells the promise of answers. One more episode, one more reveal, one more chance that maybe next time somebody finally tells the truth. The truth sold separately on Peacock. Nobody left that reunion with what they came for, including the people watching. What we got instead was a masterclass in modern reality television, a network demonstrating in real time exactly how a scandal gets managed without being resolved. And that might be the biggest train wreck of all. The Aftermath airs next week, and if the history of this network tells us anything, the most important conversation probably still hasn't made it to air. But you already know TV Trainwreck will be right here when it does.
Those of you who keep hearing about Summer House and Scamanda all over your timelines and have absolutely no idea what everyone is talking about, I'm here to break it all down for you. Because whatever this scandal is, it is apparently interesting enough to get Rihanna involved. Yes, Rihanna. The woman who barely posts, who follows almost nobody, who could not care less about most things happening on the internet, reportedly went out of her way to unfollow one of the people at the center of this mess. Now, whether she was actually following this person to begin with is still being debated, but the fact that Rihanna's name is even being mentioned in the same sentence as a Bravo reality show, that should tell you the level of chaos we are dealing with. And it's not just Rihanna. Alana Haim showed up on live television wearing a bedazzled Team Ciara t-shirt. Dave Portnoy from Barstool is calling people treacherous snakes. Boston Rob from Survivor is picking sides. Lisa Rinna is tagging herself into the conversation. The entire cast of the show has turned on each other. A woman was photographed crying on the sidewalk outside of a Hermes store on Madison Avenue. And there are rumors of a private investigator, an alleged intimate video, and a man who was supposedly juggling up to 4 women at the same time. And I'm pretty sure that not everyone has time to catch up on 10 seasons of a show to keep up with this drama. So if you've been scrolling past all of this thinking, I have no clue what any of this means, grab your favorite beverage and settle in, because I'm about to walk you through everything from scratch. Who these people are, what the show is, and why this scandal has the entire internet choosing sides like it's a custody battle. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to have an opinion too. But the part that's going to really get you, the timeline. Because when you hear who was saying what, and when they were saying it, you will understand why people are calling this worse than Scandoval. And if you don't know what Scandoval is either, don't worry, I've got you. We're starting from the very beginning. Before we dive into this absolute chaos, smash that subscribe button if you love messy drama breakdowns, hit the like button and the new hype button because it genuinely helps us grow and reach more tea lovers like you. Trust me, you'll want to be subscribed for what's coming. Because this story has more layers than a 7-tier wedding cake that's about to topple over. All right, so let's start with the basics, because context is everything with this one. And honestly, the backstory makes the betrayal hit 10 times harder. Summer House is a reality show on Bravo that's been airing since 2017. The concept is simple but effective. A group of young professionals who live and work in New York City during the week share a vacation house together in the Hamptons every weekend during the summer, Memorial Day through Labor Day. Think gorgeous beach town on the eastern tip of Long Island, where wealthy New Yorkers go to decompress, throw themed parties, day drink, and apparently destroy each other's lives. The show has been running for 10 seasons, and over that time, viewers have watched real friendships form, real relationships build, real businesses launch, and real hearts get shattered on camera. This is not scripted drama. These are actual friend groups navigating their 20s and 30s while cameras document every brunch argument, every late night confession, every drunken kiss, and every tearful morning after. But here's what you really need to understand. The reason this show works and the reason people are so invested right now is because the core cast has been together for years. They are not strangers thrown into a house for ratings. They are legitimately intertwined in each other's lives. They've been at each other's weddings. They've consoled each other through breakups. They've built businesses together. So when someone in this group betrays another person, it's not just TV drama. It feels personal. And the audience feels it too, because we've been watching these relationships develop in real time for nearly a decade. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you watched Summer House before, or is this your first time hearing about it? Because either way, what I'm about to tell you is going to have you fully invested. Now, before I introduce you to the key players in this mess, and each one of them brings something crucial to this story, let me just say that the revelation I'm about to walk you through has been compared to the biggest reality TV scandal in recent history. The comparison alone should tell you how massive this is. All right, let me introduce you to the 4 people at the center of this catastrophe, because you need to understand who they are to fully grasp why the internet went nuclear. First up, Kyle Cooke. Kyle is basically the founding father of Summer House. He's been on the show since episode 1, season 1, 2017. He's 43 years old, a serial entrepreneur who founded a hard tea and canned cocktail brand called Loverboy, and more recently got into DJing, which, spoiler alert, became a source of tension in his marriage. Kyle is the guy who's always out late, always at the party, and has a long, well-documented history of pushing the boundaries of his relationships. Keep that in mind. Next, Amanda Batula. Amanda showed up in season 1 as Kyle's on-again, off-again girlfriend and officially joined the cast in season 2. She's 34, worked as a graphic designer, and eventually became the creative director of Loverboy, Kyle's company. So not only were they romantic partners, they were business partners too. Their entire relationship played out on camera for nearly a decade. The proposal, the cheating confession, the fights, the wedding, and eventually the separation announcement in January 2026. Amanda was supposed to be having her post-divorce glow-up moment. Remember that, because it's going to be important later. Now here's where it gets messy. Ciara Miller. Ciara joined Summer House in season 5 back in 2021. She's 30 years old, a former ICU nurse turned model, and she also appeared on season 3 of The Traitors. Ciara quickly became one of Amanda's closest friends on the show. The two of them, along with former cast member Paige DeSorbo, were nicknamed the Bedbugs because they'd party all day and then crawl into bed together to gossip and decompress. Ciara was the friend who held Amanda's hand through her marriage falling apart. She was the shoulder Amanda cried on. She was the one who looked Amanda dead in the eyes during this current season and told her she deserved better than Kyle. That level of friendship is critical context for what's coming. And finally, West Wilson. West is a 31-year-old sports journalist and former college football player who joined Summer House in season 8, filmed in the summer of 2023. He walked into the house and immediately hit it off with Ciara. They had undeniable chemistry, and their romance became one of the most compelling storylines of that season. Now you've got the four corners of this love square, so before I drop the bomb, you need the relationship history, because without it, this scandal is just gossip. With it, it's a Shakespearean tragedy wrapped in a Bravo bow. Kyle and Amanda met in the summer of 2015, 9-year age gap from the jump. They dated, broke up right before Summer House started filming, then got back together once cameras were rolling. Because of course they did. From that point on, their relationship became the central storyline of the show, and it was rocky. In season 3, Kyle admitted on camera that he had been unfaithful on a guy's trip. Amanda chose to stay. They got engaged, postponed the wedding because of COVID, and eventually tied the knot in September 2021. But the turbulence never stopped. More cheating rumors surfaced. Kyle's late nights out became a recurring issue. On the current season, there's footage of Kyle staying out until almost 6 a.m. He claimed he fell asleep on a couch at an after party. Amanda's response on camera was essentially, "I don't know what the future holds." By late 2025, reports surfaced that they were living separately. And in January 2026, just before the season 10 premiere, they released a joint statement announcing their separation. 4 years of marriage, nearly a decade together, done. But here's the detail that matters most. At BravoCon in November 2025, just weeks before they started living apart, Amanda stood on a panel and said she'd finally come into her own identity. She said, "I was Kyle's ex-girlfriend, then Kyle's girlfriend, then Kyle's fiance, then Kyle's wife, and now I'm sitting next to Mr. Batula, also known as Amanda Batula's husband." The crowd went wild. She was glowing. Fans were rooting for her independence era. Now save that energy, because what I'm about to tell you about West and Ciara's history is going to make the ultimate betrayal hit completely different. And there's a layer to this that most people are not talking about. When West Wilson walked into the Summer House in the summer of 2023, Ciara was cautiously optimistic. She'd been through it with other guys on the show, and she wasn't about to throw herself into something reckless. But West brought charm. He was attentive. Their first date was documented on camera, and the chemistry was obvious. They kissed. The flirting continued all summer. They didn't sleep together during filming because Ciara was holding back, not sure if West was truly serious. But after the cameras stopped rolling, the relationship deepened. She met his parents. She went to his family farm. They attended a wedding together. From September to December 2023, by West's own admission, at the reunion, they were essentially dating every single day. Then in December 2023, over dinner, it all fell apart. West apparently decided he couldn't commit. His reasoning? He said show-related reasons. He basically told Ciara that because the Bravo fanbase is predominantly women, going to watch parties and events created situations he wasn't ready to navigate while in a relationship. Ciara went home from that dinner crying. She cut off all contact. At the reunion, when Ciara pushed back and said, "If you want to, you will. If you don't, you won't," the entire audience felt it. Because she was right. He just didn't want to. And it gets worse. After the reunion, West did a profile with the New York Times discussing his regrets about how things were portrayed, without ever telling Ciara any of this privately first. She found out from reading the article. Fast forward to this current season, and viewers are watching West actively try to repair his friendship with Ciara. There are scenes of them hugging, crying, him admitting on camera, "I really messed up." And in the mid-season trailer, it looked like they might get back together. Now hold that thought, because what I'm about to tell you is the part that made the entire Bravo universe lose its collective mind. And it involves something that Ciara said on camera this season, that in hindsight is gut-wrenching. Before I get to the actual scandal, I need to address something that adds a crucial layer to this entire situation. And it's something Ciara herself brought up on camera this season. During a candid dinner table conversation on a recent episode, Ciara opened up to her castmates about her experience as a Black woman on a predominantly white reality show, and specifically as a Black woman in an interracial relationship with West. She said, and this hit hard, "It's a whole contraption that you guys just don't understand or can even empathize with." Amanda sat right next to her during that conversation, comforting her. This isn't the first time race has come up in Ciara's storyline. When she previously dated Southern Charm's Austin Kroll, he called her a Jezebel during an argument. On this current season, when Jesse Solomon asked West if he'd care if Jesse made out with Ciara, she broke down crying. She said she was tired of being treated like an experience rather than someone worth committing to. She said something along the lines of, "Everyone knows I'm more traditional than your average girl. Why do you only see me as a good time girl when that's so not my vibe? The pattern is painful." Ciara has consistently been the person in the house who shows up, who does the emotional labor, who educates, who supports, who comforts. She sat with Amanda through the worst of her marriage. And Amanda herself told Marie Claire just weeks ago, and this quote is going to age like milk in the sun. She said Ciara was one of the kindest, most loving, loyal friends I've ever had. Remember those words, because what comes next is going to make that quote feel like a slap in the face. All right, here it is. The part that broke the internet. On March 5th, 2026, celebrity gossip account MEAWW dropped a bombshell tip claiming that Amanda Batula and West Wilson were allegedly hooking up. The source said they were telling people about it, that it was casual, and that at a recent event they were being openly flirty, reportedly holding hands under a table while Kyle, Amanda's not yet ex-husband, was right there in the room. Then the breadcrumbs started piling up. In late February, a tipster sent in a photo of West and Amanda at a bar called Blind Tiger on Bleecker Street. The description? They were, according to the source, extremely flirty, touching each other's legs. And this was happening while the show was airing episodes of West pursuing Ciara.
I don't know how much more I can take, guys. The rumors about West and Amanda are going absolutely wild. But there is one thing, one clue that absolutely no one is talking about and no one has brought up that I think proves whether or not this is actually true. So the rumors started weeks ago, where it seems like every rumor is starting these days on MEAWW, who said that West and Amanda were spotted around New York kissing. This was pretty much immediately debunked when not even 24 hours later, West was spotted hanging out with both Amanda and Ciara in a group setting. I think we all basically put the rumors to bed. That is until yesterday when a new blind dropped about Amanda and West. But this one was even more ridiculous than the original, claiming that someone has a photo taken through Amanda's window in New York of Amanda and West kissing. And this photo somehow made it to Ciara, and now they're feuding. We have Page 6 reporting on this, and people even claiming that they are backing out of doing brand deals together because they were supposed to do an Amazon Live that they then did separately. West was even asked about this rumor on Watch What Happens Live the other night and basically denied it to Andy. Even though his answer was a little bit of a word salad, he did say that they are just friends. But here's the clue. Here's the clue that no one is talking about amidst all of these new rumors. Amanda did an interview with Jason Tartick for the Trading Secrets podcast not even 3 weeks ago. And in the interview, she explicitly said that she would never touch any of her fellow cast members.
I'm not touching any of my cast members.
That seemed like a safe play.
Yeah, love them dearly, but I'm good.
This was after the MEAWW rumors had come out about her and West, and definitely seems like this was her way of putting the kibosh on it all. So why is everyone choosing to ignore this? Look, I know it is fishy that they didn't do that Amazon Live together and they haven't really been spotted hanging out. However, I have always seen Amanda as a girl's girl, and I just can't picture this happening, guys. I'm not gonna believe it until I see that photo proof.
Everyone's putting in their 2 cents of Amanda, West, and Ciara right now, and I am going to run on the fact that it's a publicity stunt that's going on, so more people watch Summer House, and that's why nothing's come out about it, because I can't fathom one of my best friends hooking up / dating one of my exes. So I don't think it's true. I don't think Amanda and West are together. I think it's something for publicity. They're gonna talk all about it on the reunion. But if it's real, it's on site. That's not a girl's girl, if so. And West.
But here's where it gets truly wild. On Valentine's Day, multiple sources claimed West was spotted making out with a completely different woman at a venue called Armada. Not Amanda, not Ciara, someone else entirely. Then on St. Patrick's Day, he was reportedly in Chicago, trying to leave with yet another woman. According to MEAWW's compiled timeline, sources were estimating West was juggling up to 4 different women simultaneously, including both Amanda and Ciara. And here's the detail that will make your jaw drop. Sources claim that West and Ciara were still hooking up as recently as 3 to 4 weeks before the announcement. One insider told Us Weekly that West was actively pursuing Ciara, and they had been intimate recently. The source said Ciara had no idea about Amanda. Nobody did. Now on March 10th, Kyle himself appeared on Watch What Happens Live and was asked about the rumors. He dismissed them entirely. He said it would catch him by surprise and feel a little reckless. At that point, Kyle seemed to believe it wasn't true. Then, on March 24th, West himself went on Watch What Happens Live. Andy Cohen asked him directly about the Amanda rumors. And West's answer, looking back, was so telling it's almost criminal. He said, "She's single now. We were just hanging out in New York. I gotta show her the streets a little bit." He called Amanda a friend. He called her a very important person. But he never denied it. He never said it wasn't romantic. He just charmed his way around the question while the audience laughed. Meanwhile, the cracks were showing. And then, on March 31st, 2026, Amanda Batula and West Wilson released a joint statement on their Instagram stories confirming what everyone had suspected. But what happened in the hours surrounding that announcement? That's the part that has haunted me since I started researching this story. And it involves that image of Ciara on the sidewalk outside Hermes that I told you about at the beginning. The day the statement dropped was March 31st, but let's rewind to the night before, because Ciara was on a red carpet for the Apple TV premiere of Your Friends and Neighbors, and actor Jon Hamm, of all people, casually asked her how she was doing. Her response? She paused, smiled, and said, "Well, I've been better." She'd already been given a heads up. Sources confirmed to TMZ that Ciara knew the statement was coming at least a day or two in advance. But knowing something is coming and actually seeing it happen publicly, two very different things. And then she posted her red carpet interview to Instagram with the caption, "If you can't trust your friends and neighbors, who can you trust?" The shade was subtle. The pain was not. The next day, after Amanda and West's statement hit Instagram, paparazzi captured Ciara sitting on the sidewalk outside the Hermes store on Madison Avenue, visibly upset, being consoled by a stranger. That image went viral. And honestly, sitting on the concrete outside of Hermes while processing betrayal is incredibly chic, but it shouldn't have to happen. Within hours, Ciara unfollowed both Amanda and West on Instagram. They unfollowed her right back. A decade of friendship, erased with a tap. And then, the entire Bravo universe chose sides. And it was not close. Lindsay Hubbard posted a selfie with Ciara. When a boxing gym posted that West would be a guest trainer, Lindsay commented, "Is he the bag?" The pettiness was immaculate. Southern Charm's Vanita Aspen, who's close friends with Ciara, wrote, "Imagine making a statement, hard launching a connection, and not even considering apologizing to the person you hurt." Katie Maloney from Vanderpump Rules said, "So this is what it's like being on the other side of Scandoval." And Alana Haim, yes, from the band Haim, showed up on Watch What Happens Live wearing a bedazzled t-shirt that just said, "Team Ciara." Even Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports jumped in, claiming he'd known about the relationship since the Super Bowl in February, and then calling Amanda a villain, a liar, and a treacherous snake. But the real reason this betrayal hits so hard.
The biggest betrayal of this whole thing for me is the fact that there was a very vulnerable conversation between Ciara and Mia and KJ and the rest of the cast members on the current season about race and about how they as Black people have a very different experience of being on reality television than do the white people in the house. And I've always loved that Summer House, I think, handles these types of conversations quite well. Like they don't shy away from the possible like discomfort that it might cause for certain people, which I think is great and is important because these things should be talked about. But the fact that this conversation happened and Ciara very clearly voiced how being a Black woman on the show and, in her words, being played by white men on more than one occasion has affected her, and having everyone being very supportive in the moment, and Amanda came over and hugged her and said she loved her, and they all listened very intently. That scenario, fast forward to whenever the alleged tryst between Amanda and West began, is kind of sickening to me. Because if you can have that kind of conversation with someone who is supposedly one of your close friends and then turn around and contribute towards the specific hurt that she has experienced in the past with white men, that's just something that is not forgivable, in my opinion. And I don't think they would ever come back from it. And like rightfully so from Ciara's perspective. Because now we're not only talking about girl code or dating someone's ex, now we've got like this racial undertone attached to it where someone has clearly stated how the racial differences affect them and how negative that experience has been for them. And then a so-called friend goes and does the same thing to them or contributes to that same thing happening to them again.
The comment section is about to be something else. Drop your reactions because the next part of the story might be the messiest of all. Now, here's where the narrative takes a truly unexpected turn, because the person who probably should be the angriest, Kyle Cooke, the man whose wife left and is now with one of his closest friends, seems to be protecting Amanda? I'm confused. Kyle spoke to TikTok creator Adam Glynn on the streets of New York, and the interview was released in 3 parts. And what he said was confusing, to say the least. First, he said he was actually worried about Amanda. He said she was being cyberbullied, and that from where he was standing, she was taking all the hate while West was gaining followers. He pointed out that West somehow gained 50,000 new followers from the controversy, while Amanda was getting torn apart online. He also said something that stuck with me. He said Amanda knows what she did was wrong, and she's trying to come to terms with it. But he said she is not well. That's her estranged husband, the man she's leaving, expressing concern for her mental health while she's with someone else. Say what you will about Kyle, that's complicated. But when it came to West, the gloves came off. Kyle accused West of being calculated and strategic. He said West positioned himself as a knight in shining armor on the show, defending Amanda, calling Kyle out for bad behavior, even comparing Kyle to the Wolf of Wall Street for buying Amanda an expensive watch after being rude to her. And now, Kyle says all of that was part of a long game. Kyle said West knew exactly what he was doing, that he hitched his wagon to Amanda's glow-up and strategically made Kyle look worse with his comments and confessionals, all while pursuing Amanda behind the scenes. Kyle called it a mental mind mess and said it makes him second-guess everything from last summer, at minimum, how checked out Amanda was. And then he dropped this about their friendship. A lot of people don't understand how close we were. We traveled to Toronto, we traveled to the Ozarks. I was at his parents' house, riding horses at his dad's ranch. There's some wild betrayal here. He also revealed that West sent him some half-butted text message, and that the whole cast is super disappointed. And bringing up the future of the show, he said he'd come back, but questioned whether the group could actually film together. He said, "Carl is a mess. It really does put into jeopardy what the show's about, because you can't shoot Summer House if the vibes are off. We're not actors. Tell me I'm not the only one who sees the irony here."
Okay, we need to talk about some recent statements from this mullet-headed maniac. And this is going to be a 2-parter, so make sure you watch both parts. We're going to start with something that he said that proves it is that deep. And race is absolutely involved. And since clearly a lot of you are not listening to the black women on this app, hopefully you'll indulge me, because I know they're tired. Now, in my last video, make sure to check it out, I talked about the 3 stereotypes that people of my complexion created in order to mistreat, demean, devalue, and discredit people of color, specifically black women. And while I talked about the sapphire trope, which is the angry black woman trope, we need to talk about its counterpart. Because where there is a sapphire, allegedly, there will always be a pearl. And believe me, she knows how to clutch them. Because if there's one thing that women wear well, it's victimhood. You see, Kyle met up with Amanda, and afterward he was like, "I'm really concerned about her." And that's when I knew. Here goes the cycle. And mind you, I have no doubt that victim mentality played into this pairing. Because if she's the victim, probably of Kyle at that point, then West gets to be the savior. But I'll get to him in part 2. It is both insane and yet completely predictable that this woman is now crying victim to online bullying if it isn't the consequences of your own action. Look how quickly all the mayonnaise-complected men around her come to save her, to defend her honor. How interesting it is to see her portray herself as so helpless, compared to how boldly she Ciara in the back. That shows a certain degree of strength, does it not? Albeit entirely malicious. And the way she snuck around, the joy she seemed to get, that's not screaming victim to me. That's screaming villain. Mark my words, they will be trying to force her into the Sapphire role. You can already see the pattern starting. Ciara is the one whose heart is broken. Ciara is the one who is betrayed. But who's boo-hooing? Who's rounding up the men to protect her? This is an all too familiar story. Now, luckily, Ciara can outclass any of them. I don't think she'll be taking the bait. But if you can't see this dynamic playing out, if you can't see how horrifically she's being treated, the standard with which she has to hold herself, knowing that if she were to get too angry or too upset, it would be held against her. But not just against her, mind you. And Ciara has spoken about this. She becomes a reflection of all Black women. That's the difference. Pay attention. If Ciara were to fly off the handle, and I think it would be justified at this point, it would be used to degrade Black women as a whole. And yet Amanda can backstab her, betray Kyle, secretly be sleeping with her ex and her ex-husband's best friend. Or are they even officially divorced yet? She can sleep with him. None of that is looked at as a reflection of her race, and she still gets to play the victim. It is that deep. And in the next part, I'm coming for you.
And please go check out part 2 on her page, because the way she goes in on West had me rolling on the floor, literally. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Isn't this just the new Scandoval? And yes, the comparisons are everywhere. But let me explain why a lot of people are saying this might actually be worse. With Scandoval back in 2023, the lines were clear. Tom Sandoval cheated on his long-term girlfriend Ariana Madix with their friend and castmate Raquel Leviss. It was devastating, but the audience knew exactly who the villain was and exactly who the victim was. Team Ariana. Done. No ambiguity. But with Summer House, the dynamics hit different, and in some ways, they cut deeper. Because Ciara Miller is essentially the Ariana Madix of this situation. She's the person who got blindsided. She's the one who was loyal, who showed up, who trusted the people closest to her, and got absolutely decimated for it. And just like Ariana became America's sweetheart after Scandoval, Ciara is getting her moment right now. Fans are campaigning for her to be the next Bachelorette. People are flooding the internet with things like Ciara for Bachelorette, end of story, get her 30 men to pick from. An ICU nurse, model, reality TV star with the poise she's shown through all of this? I mean, come on. But it gets better. According to Dumois, Rihanna, yes, that Rihanna, was allegedly so upset about what happened that she's reportedly playing matchmaker for Ciara.
The scream I scrumped. Do you see this? So we already knew that Rihanna actually unfollowed Amanda Batula on Instagram, and she does follow Ciara. Well, Dumois posted that apparently Rihanna is like advocating for Ciara and playing matchmaker for her, and allegedly is in her DMs with a celebrity superstar who just won an award and is very interested in Ciara. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the petitions, but there's a very large group of us who want Ciara and Michael B. Jordan to be together so bad. I mean, can you imagine those babies if they were to have babies? Probably the two most beautiful humans on this earth together. It's perfect. Obviously, we don't know who Rihanna is talking about, but Michael B. Jordan is in his award year, winning left and right for Sinners. I need to know more. And I just love that such a superstar like Rihanna has Ciara's back like this. I mean, and this is just the beginning for Ciara. Like, Ciara's probably hurt right now and she's in this like sad era, grieving era of a friendship. But little does she know, what these two fools just did for her and her career and her success and her fame. Ciara B. Jordan.
Now, this is unverified. Take it with a grain of salt. But Jordan co-owns a restaurant in NYC, and one of his business partner's girlfriends is apparently good friends with Ciara. The dots are connecting. And Ciara going from West Wilson to Michael B. Jordan would be the greatest revenge arc in reality television history. Now back to why this hits harder than Scandoval. With Scandoval, the lines were clear. Tom cheated. Ariana was the victim. Done. No ambiguity. Here, technically, there's no confirmed cheating. Amanda and Kyle were separated. West and Ciara were never officially together. On paper, nobody did anything technically wrong. But the emotional betrayal, the friendship betrayal, those are crystal clear and arguably harder to process. Think about it. Ciara wasn't just West's ex, she was Amanda's best friend. The person Amanda publicly called one of the most loyal friends she'd ever had. Ciara comforted Amanda through her marriage falling apart. She cried with Amanda on camera. She told Amanda she deserved better. And then Amanda turned around and started dating the very man who broke Ciara's heart, the man Ciara was potentially reconciling with on the show that is currently airing. And there's the added weight that Ciara, as a black woman, had just been vulnerable on national television about the unique challenges she faces in interracial relationships. She opened herself up. She was generous with her pain. And the two people closest to that vulnerability used it as a stepping stone to their own relationship. The numbers tell the story too. The show has generated over 354 million social video views since season 10 started. Individual fans creating reaction videos and digging through old episodes for clues account for nearly 2/3 of that engagement. This has transcended the Bravo bubble. People who have never watched a single episode are now fully invested. And here's the kicker. Bravo is not picking cameras back up. When Scandoval happened, Vanderpump Rules had already wrapped filming, but Bravo sent crews back in to capture the fallout in real time. That is not happening here, which means the upcoming reunion, set to film in mid-April, will be the first time any of this gets addressed on camera. And that reunion is going to be explosive. Comment your predictions. How do you think the reunion is going to go? Because I personally think there's going to be tears, screaming, and at least one person walking off set. Now, before I wrap this up, let me lay out the questions that still do not have answers, because this story is far from over. Number one, what is the actual timeline? Kyle has publicly said there's murkiness around when his separation happened versus when Amanda and West started seeing each other. He's received DMs claiming it dates back to as early as June 2025, while they were filming the current season. If that's true, that changes everything, because that means Amanda was potentially involved with West while cameras were rolling, while she was still technically with Kyle, and while Ciara was in the same house trying to reconnect with him. Number two, the private investigator rumors. There are unconfirmed reports circulating that someone, possibly someone in Ciara's circle, hired a private investigator who allegedly obtained a video of Amanda and West being intimate at his apartment. If true, it raises serious legal questions about how that footage was obtained, and it means Ciara may have had to watch evidence of her best friend with her ex before the rest of the world found out. Number three, was West ever exclusive with anyone? Because between all the reported sightings with different women and the claims he was still seeing Ciara just weeks before the announcement, the picture forming is that West Wilson may have been playing everyone, including Amanda. And number four, what happens to Summer House? Kyle said the show can't work if the vibes are off. The cast is reportedly furious and disappointed. Ciara has unfollowed the two people central to the drama. Scandoval ultimately tore apart the Vanderpump Rules cast so badly that Bravo rebooted the entire show with a new cast. Could the same thing happen here? So that's the Summer House scandal. Friendship, betrayal, secrets, and the question of whether loyalty means anything when there are cameras and followers involved. The reunion films in a few weeks. When it does, I will be back with a full breakdown. And if what I'm hearing is true, it's going to be even messier than what we already know.
I don't know how much more I can take, guys. The rumors about West and Amanda are going absolutely wild. But there is one thing, one clue that absolutely no one is talking about and no one has brought up that I think proves whether or not this is actually true. So the rumors started weeks ago, where it seems like every rumor is starting these days on Dumois, who said that West and Amanda were spotted around New York kissing. This was pretty much immediately debunked when not even 24 hours later, West was spotted hanging out with both Amanda and Ciara in a group setting. I think we all basically put the rumors to bed. That is until yesterday when a new blind dropped about Amanda and West. But this one was even more ridiculous than the original, claiming that someone has a photo taken through Amanda's window in New York of Amanda and West kissing. And this photo somehow made it to Ciara, and now they're feuding. We have Page 6 reporting on this, and people even claiming that they are backing out of doing brand deals together because they were supposed to do an Amazon Live that they then did separately. West was even asked about this rumor on Watch What Happens Live the other night and basically denied it to Andy. Even though his answer was a little bit of a word salad, he did say that they are just friends. But here's the clue. Here's the clue that no one is talking about amidst all of these new rumors. Amanda did an interview with Jason Tartick for the Trading Secrets podcast not even 3 weeks ago. And in the interview, she explicitly said that she would never touch any of her fellow cast members.
I'm not touching any of my cast members.
That seems like a safe way.
Yeah, love them dearly, but I'm good.
This was after the Dumois rumors had come out about her and West, and definitely seems like this was her way of putting the kibosh on it all. So why is everyone choosing to ignore this? Look, I know it is fishy that they didn't do that Amazon Live together and they haven't really been spotted hanging out. However, I have always seen Amanda as a girl's girl, and I just can't picture this happening, guys. I'm not gonna believe it until I see that photo proof.
You don't have a prenup, but if you come for me, I'll come for you.
That'd be a losing battle.
Are you threatening me?
Who do you think will be the first of the two of you to start dating?
Maybe me?
Okay.
Would that be crazy?
Wes, what was your reaction to the rumors of you and Amanda?
Yeah, we were just hanging out in New York. She seemed like I kind of gotta show her the streets a little bit, you know?
Right.
Okay. Have you talked to Wes? Has he reached out to you?
He sent some half-assed text message. I don't understand the timeline just yet. You know, it definitely makes me second guess a lot of things last summer.
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. Today, we're witnessing the total annihilation of one of Bravo's most iconic couples. Forget the divorce rumours and the Loverboy tension. What just happened between Amanda Batula, West Wilson, Kyle Cooke, and Ciara Miller isn't just a breakup. It's a calculated betrayal and romantic execution, the likes of which we haven't seen since Scandoval. On March 31st, 2026, Amanda and Kyle's summer house of cards finally collapsed when Amanda and West hard launched their romance on Instagram. But while they were posting about clarity, the receipts were already leaking, and they were messier than anyone ever thought. In this video, we're getting into all the details to piece together this complicated, messy timeline, including the leaked footage and evidence of Amanda at West's apartment as early as February, despite claims that the romance is new, the double life allegations that West was in an exclusive relationship with a secret girlfriend while simultaneously pursuing Amanda and Ciara, and Ciara's devastation as she received video footage of Amanda and West getting intimate in his apartment, just weeks after she'd hooked up with him and just days before the relationship was officially announced. Between the secret girlfriends, the broken girl code, and the six-figure career fallout, the soft launch is officially a hard crash, and we're breaking down every single receipt. So let's get straight into it. As always, let's take things in chronological order, because with multiple headlines breaking every single day, you're not going to want to miss a single detail. We'll start with a quick recap of Amanda and Kyle's separation before getting into the Scamanda of it all. So, things all kicked off on January 19th when Kyle and Amanda released a public statement to their Instagram stories, announcing that they were separating after 4 years of marriage and almost 10 years together. The statement read, After much reflection, we have mutually and amicably decided to part ways as a couple. We share this with a heavy heart and kindly ask for your grace and support while we focus on our personal growth and healing. It feels ironic to ask for privacy during this time, since we've always tried to be open and honest about our relationship. But your kindness and respect will go a long way as we try to navigate our next chapter. Signed, Amanda and Kyle. The next update came a few days later on January 22nd, when Kyle was interviewed by Adam Glynn and insisted that he and Amanda were still on good terms, claiming there's still a lot of love between them and they speak frequently.
I think people will be surprised, but also happy to see that Amanda and I are in a good spot.
Are you guys still living together at the moment, or is it?
We have separated. It started as like living separately. This isn't like a big breakup where there's a smoking gun and there's a lot of hate. There's absolutely some frustration, right? Like, I've done things, she's done things, but we got each other's back. We care about each other. We still love each other. So.
Then, during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live on February 3rd, Amanda confirmed that she had moved out of her home with Kyle back in November 2025, ahead of the BravoCon weekend, in order to take some space from their relationship. She confirmed, as Kyle had a few days before, that there was no smoking gun that pushed them to the decision, and confirmed they still speak multiple times a week and are happily co-parenting their dogs together.
How long have you and Kyle been living separately?
Since October?
Since October.
Or November?
Before BravoCon.
Just before.
Just before BravoCon. In terms of your decision to separate, was there one final straw?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Did you have a prenup?
No.
No.
Do I regret it? Yes.
You do?
Of course.
Everybody needs a prenup.
Everyone needs a prenup.
Yes.
Everyone needs a prenup. Yeah. But we're gonna be fine, but still, it could have not been fine.
In this same interview, Amanda shockingly revealed that she might be the first out of her and Kyle to start dating again. A headline no one ever thought we'd see. But oh, how naive we all were.
How often do you speak?
Multiple times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But not
text or speak?
Both. Actually, when I need him, I just call him because I'm a terrible texter.
Who do you think will be the first of the two of you to start dating?
Maybe me?
Okay.
Would that be crazy? Maybe.
Then, in an interview with Marie Claire on March 3rd, Amanda revealed to the interviewer that she was on cloud 9 and had never been happier. She stated, quote, "This isn't a new chapter, it's a whole new book." Amanda also once again doubled down on the statement that her and Kyle were amicable, claiming, "Kyle and I are good," before confirming the timeline of the split. Amanda confirmed that the pair split in November, but at the time of the separation, they agreed not to see other people. She stated, "The plan was to date each other, work on our relationship, and take some space. But that space made us realize, well, maybe we want more space, that the separation should be permanent." Amanda continued, "There has been a lot of speculation that we broke up before Summer House Season 10 started filming, that we've been separated for months, blah, blah, blah. But honest to God, we came to the decision to divorce a few days before we posted the announcement on Instagram on January 19th, 2026. We were on FaceTime talking about us. I said I wanted to put out a statement about our relationship, and that's when we decided to officially separate. We were also on FaceTime when we both posted our statements a few days later. It was a sad moment, but also a relief, and I'm really happy we did it together." When asked about what finally triggered the decision to separate, Amanda said, quote, "It just got to a point where I knew I had given the relationship everything I had, and there was no fight left in me. We looked at each other like, this isn't going to go anywhere." She was later asked about filming Summer House Season 10 and addressed West's decision to stand up for her against Kyle. Amanda stated, "It's also meant so much to me how supportive West has been throughout the season, sometimes in ways I wasn't even aware of when filming. It's not performative. It's just really authentic to who West is. He checks Kyle and puts him in his place, and you'll continue to see him be there for me throughout the season." Towards the end of the interview, Amanda was asked if she was dating, and her response is telling, knowing what we know now. She replied, quote, "I'm manifesting a boyfriend, but just a boyfriend. No one who's looking for anything serious. I want to have fun with someone my age or younger, since I've always dated older. For now, while I heal, I just want to flirt and make out. to be taken on dates and just enjoy being hot and happy. I'll find a husband later down the road, or maybe not. So, Amanda was single and ready to mingle, and for a long time, the fans were on her side, after watching how much she'd struggled dating Kyle for years, and all of the cheating allegations she'd suffered through. But this all started to change on March 5th, when rumours that Amanda and West were having a secret relationship started to spread like wildfire, after Dumois posted that the co-stars were spotted together, flirting in New York City. A few days later, on March 11th, Kyle appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where he confirmed to Andy Cohen that he's not currently dating. During this interview, Kyle was also asked about the rumours that had begun to circulate surrounding Amanda and co-star West.
What was your reaction to the West and Amanda rumors?
I mean, I kind of thought it was outrageous. Like, you know, for it to go as long as it has in the news cycle is kind of shocking. But no, I don't think there's any merit to it.
If you found out that it was true, would you be upset?
It would certainly catch me by surprise and feel a little reckless. And I think I'd probably be the last person people would be worried about. I think Ciara would probably have something to say. But if it made Amanda happy, I think I just would have to vote yay.
So no truth at all to it?
I don't believe so, no.
Then, on March 24th, West also appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where he downplayed the rumours around their relationship.
We still want to ask, hypothetically, would you ship West and Amanda? West, what was your reaction to the rumors of you and Amanda?
She's single now, and it's happened already to other people that she's hung out with. But
you were just hanging out?
Yeah, we were just hanging out in New York. She's single. I kind of gotta show her the streets a little bit, you know. But if it's not clear, that's a very important person to me, and I care about her a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your homegirl.
Right. Okay. As opposed to your romantic girl.
Correct.
Yes.
That's what the streets want to know.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
no. That's a friend.
But clearly, West couldn't hide the truth for long, and things came crashing down on March 31st in a tumultuous nosedive that we haven't seen on Bravo in years. So, on March 31st, Amanda and West released a joint statement to their Instagram stories to confirm they were having a romantic relationship. The statement said, quote, "We've seen the growing online speculation, so while this is still very new, we wanted to provide some clarity. It was never our intention to purposely hide anything. Given the complicated relationship dynamics involved and the scrutiny that comes with being on a reality show, we needed a little space to process things privately before speaking on it." The statement continued, "We've shown up for each other as friends over the years through all the highs and lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. Our connection grew out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care." The pair added, "As our feelings evolved, we wanted to take time to understand exactly what we were feeling. We also recognised that this has had an impact beyond just us, and never wanted our actions to cause any hurt or be perceived as careless." The statement concluded, "We truly appreciate the understanding and respect as we navigate this." As soon as this was released, a source connected to the situation claimed to Page 6 that the pair are in a full-blown relationship, stating, quote, "It's not just a hookup." And minutes after the news hit headlines, Ciara was photographed sat on the sidewalk in New York while being comforted by an unidentified male, seemingly having a visceral and raw reaction to the news. On this same day, fans also noticed that Ciara had unfollowed both West and Amanda on Instagram and was receiving support from many of the other cast members who are all clearly Team Ciara and rallying around her. Plus, Ciara took to Instagram to make a subtle dig at the pair, posting a video montage of herself on the red carpet from the premiere of Season 2 of Your Friends and Neighbours the day before. Ciara captioned this post, "If you can't trust your friends and neighbours, who can you trust?" And around the time the news broke, a source told Us Weekly, quote, "Ciara cut off both Amanda and West after finding out. She's furious at West, but even more hurt by Amanda. Disappointed doesn't even cover it. This is so much more to Ciara than just breaking girl code." As headlines exploded, a separate source even claimed that Bravo is considering contingency plans for the next season of Summer House. On March 30th, Dumois shared a report that, quote, "The network is actively and swiftly exploring contingency plans behind the scenes, with multiple scenarios on the table depending on how this unfolds publicly and how fans react." Dumois' source also shared that castmates are upset over the recent news, stating, tensions are running high behind the scenes. At this point, no one really knows when things will return to normal again, if ever. The next day, on April 1st, the fallout got even more serious for Amanda. Not only did she lose a best friend, but she just lost a brand partnership that could have cost her in the hundreds of thousands. So, fashion and weed brand Edie Parker, who were in the process of collaborating with Amanda, scrapped their partnership as soon as Amanda and West released their statement, posting a photo to their Instagram with the caption, "A lot can change in a day. Same shirt, same great charity, new model." The collab was only revealed a couple of days before, when Amanda had done a photo shoot wearing a t-shirt that said, "These are your boobs on drugs," with 15% of the proceeds benefiting the Last Prisoners Project, which is a charity dedicated to cannabis criminal justice reform. But the entire photo shoot was scrapped, and any traces of Amanda were removed from Edie Parker's Instagram. Summer House fans flooded the comments with support for this decision, with some fans pushing for the brand to replace Amanda with Ciara as the new model. This same day, Adam Glynn caught up with Kyle to see how he was taking the news of the relationship. During the conversation, Kyle admitted to being worried about Amanda due to the amount of hate she was receiving. He asked fans to lay off her, while also throwing major shade at West, stating he's the kind of guy who manipulates women and claiming that the blurred timeline is making him second-guess the pair's actions on season 10.
I'm good. I appreciate people checking in. I'm actually really worried about Amanda, if I'm being honest. I talked to her before they put the statement out. She gave me a heads up. From what I'm seeing, she's kind of getting cyberbullied, and then at the end of the day, all I know is Wes seems to be the kind of guy playing multiple women at the same time.
Have you talked to Wes? Has he reached out to you?
He sent some half-assed text message. I don't understand the timeline just yet. It definitely makes me second guess a lot of things last summer. But I have real issue with a dude that manages to use his charm to get whatever he wants, says the right thing at the right time. I'm not saying he manipulated Amanda, but she was clearly in a vulnerable spot. I'm obviously disappointed in her, but just hearing her and hearing how unwell she is, and, dark thoughts, I just ask people to just, maybe let off the gas a little bit with the cyberbullying and the hate.
And while West and Amanda were facing serious backlash, other Bravo labs were also thrown in the firing line and forced to speak publicly on what they knew. First of whom was castmate Jesse Solomon, who spoke out on April 1st to defend himself amid suggestions that he knew about the relationship but had been keeping the secret for Amanda and West. In the Instagram comments on a post questioning whether Jesse had been covering for them, he wrote, "I heard the rumours, but they were denied to me multiple times." Andy Cohen also addressed Scamanda on April 1st during an episode of SiriusXM's Andy Cohen Live, after he too was accused of being in the loop about the relationship.
I will say that I saw a lot of conspiracy theories online yesterday that I somehow knew about this.
Did you?
I did not. I really feel for Ciara.
Of course.
I was surprised by the statement. I was surprised by what it said.
Or what it didn't say.
And I was surprised by what it didn't say.
Stepping in to protect the cast members under fire, Andy also took a moment to remind everyone that, quote, "There's a middle ground you can tread, but just know that these are real people who are dealing with a lot." In a separate interview on the same day, Andy hinted that he'll be asking a lot of difficult questions at the reunion, which is set to film in just a couple of weeks in mid-April, where I'm sure tensions will be running high.
A lot going on in the Bravoverse right now. It's crazy. What is your take on the Amanda West romantic news of it all? Is there a romance between them?
I don't have any new information about these guys. I would say keep watching Summer House. Okay. And, I'm seeing everything that's being talked about online, and we'll, shooting the reunion in a few weeks, and I'm sure we'll talk about everything.
You'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
West had a little bit of an odd answer when you asked him on Watch What Happens Live.
A little what?
A little bit of an odd answer. He said he was showing her around New York.
I thought he was, I took it at face value.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just when we all thought it couldn't get any worse, rumours started flying that Amanda and West's relationship may have been going on for a lot longer than anyone ever realised. It all started with a leaked photo which showed West and Amanda on February 22nd at 1:43 p.m. having drinks together at the bar Blind Tiger. According to the source who sent in the tip, quote, "The day of the massive snow day, they were extremely flirty with one another, touching each other's legs when sitting, etc. She was also wearing what I assume was his clothes." This was confirmed by a second source who wrote in saying, "I'm the girl on the left with the slick back and can confirm. He was straddling her while she stroked his face. We were shook." Now, Amanda and Kyle only announced their separation on January 19th, so February 22nd is only just 1 month later. But things got even worse than this when Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy claimed that he'd learned about Amanda and West's secret romance from Brianna LaPaglia at the Super Bowl on February 8th. And if this is true, it means the new relationship must have started less than 2.5 weeks after Kyle and Amanda officially split. And as all of this came to light, fans started pulling photos and clips from last summer, suggesting this romance was brewing while the cameras were still rolling on season 10. The clips that circulated included one of West feeding Amanda a bite of his sandwich after she'd had an argument with Kyle. Looking back on this clip with the benefit of hindsight had fans in a tailspin. One fan commented, quote, "They were absolutely messing around last summer. You can't tell me they weren't. What man feeds a married woman like that? Too intimate." While another said, "She checked out last summer due to West." Another clip making the rounds showed West rushing to Amanda and picking her up by the waist with the caption, "Right in front of our faces." And yet another was found on West's own Instagram from February 4th, just days after the separation with Kyle was announced. The photo showed West on the floor with Amanda outside the summer house and had one fan commenting, "Choking his wife while y'all were cheating is wild work." But for Ciara, the evidence of a longer-term romance was more than just speculation from scenes of Summer House. According to reports from April 2nd, Ciara actually saw a video of Amanda being intimate in his apartment before the public statement was even drafted, when neither of them knew they were being filmed. An insider revealed to TMZ that Amanda had texted Ciara on Monday, March 30th, before releasing the statement on the Tuesday. In the text, Amanda allegedly told Ciara that she never meant to hurt her and explained that she wanted to sort out her feelings about West before discussing the romance with her friend. Then, on April 4th, Dumois once again broke the news that Amanda was spotted visiting West's apartment on April 3rd, as fans speculated that she was wearing West's clothes out to a meeting with Kyle on this same day. Talk about throwing it in someone's face. But sadly, West's messiness doesn't stop there, as on April 1st, another bomb was dropped. West had actually been in an exclusive relationship with another woman during his dalliances with Amanda. According to Page 6, West was actively dating Mejia Moreno and they became exclusive late last year. Allegedly, Moreno has met and frequently interacted with West's family and close friends, and he had taken the time to assure her that he wasn't sleeping with anyone else, and that all the rumours about Amanda were just that, rumours. West even mentioned Moreno on that episode of Watch What Happens Live on March 24th, saying that his friend Mejia had made his custom horsehair tie before stumbling through a lie about being in a relationship with Amanda. But shortly after that appearance on Watch What Happens Live, West allegedly called Mejia to let her know he had been caught making out with Amanda and their secret relationship was about to be made public, meaning that his relationship with Moreno was ongoing until at least 1 week before the statement about him and Amanda was announced on March 31st. Currently, it's still unknown whether Amanda knew about West's relationship with Mejia. But one thing she must have known about is his latest dalliances with Ciara, as a source revealed that they had hooked up just weeks before he and Amanda posted their joint statement. As speculation started heating up over the crossover between Amanda, Ciara, and now Mejia, a source told Us Weekly, quote, West was hitting on Ciara and they had hooked up recently, about 3 to 4 weeks ago. The insider claimed that Ciara didn't know anything about Amanda, adding, no one did. Another source also confirmed that, quote, Ciara and West were rekindling and seeing if it would work again recently, while a third added that they had been together as recently as mid to late February. Now, if we rewind to the rumours that were already spiralling at the Super Bowl on February 8th, and the evidence of Amanda and West at a bar on February 22nd, there's no way that there wasn't crossover between Amanda and Ciara dating West, while he was definitely still dating Mejia. So, for me, the question becomes, did Amanda know that Ciara was still hooking up with West when she started seeing him? If so, that adds a whole extra layer of betrayal on top of what is already a horrific stab in the back. And honestly, that's not even the end of it, as things just keep spiraling. On April 3rd, Dumois released even more blind items she received about West and Amanda, which suggests that their relationship has been going on for months. One tip, which Dumois received on March 31st, said, "My friend and I were grabbing drinks in the WV at Fukuzi, now permanently closed, back in September, and were sat a couple of tables from Amanda and West from Summer House, who were there alone, no cameras. We thought it was weird but innocent at the time. Feels a little suspicious now." Another, which was received on March 28th, said, "Overheard Jessie in NYC last week going off about Amanda sleeping over at West's house and denying it. Afraid she is going to have a Raquel arc here." Yet another, which was received on March 14th, said, quote, "Saw West and Amanda making out at his apartment 2 Saturdays ago. Neighbour of West." So, while West's out here living his double or triple life, he isn't escaping the financial burn either. In a similar situation to Amanda, on April 6th, reports confirmed that West was scrubbed and edited out of a major brand campaign in partnership with the NCAA and Marriott. According to an eagle-eyed TikToker, the Christina Chronicles, Marriott initially posted a video with West promoting a podcast, but immediately started receiving negative comments from the fans. Marriott quickly took the post down, edited it to remove West, and reposted, which had fans praising them for their speedy changeover. Clearly, brands do not want to be associated with betrayal, and Amanda and West are finding this out the hard way. So, what's next? Well, right now, Bravo is in crisis mode. Reports from March 31st suggest the network is considering contingency plans because the cast refuses to film together, putting the future of Summer House in jeopardy. However, on April 7th, the trailer for the new spin-off, In the City, dropped, featuring a flirty moment between Amanda and West, proving that while their personal lives are in ruins, Bravo is ready to monetize on the wreckage. So, the Summer House of Cards hasn't just fallen, it's been set on fire. Between West's triple life, involving Mejia and Ciara, and Amanda's 6-figure partnership collapse, we're looking at the most expensive and reputation-shattering scandal in Summer House history. Before I go, I have to know where you guys stand on this, because the receipts are pointing in a million different directions. Do you believe Amanda and West really just started dating? Or does that February bar footage and the Super Bowl rumours prove this has been going on for much, much longer? Is Amanda a victim of West's creative manipulation, as Kyle suggests? Or is she a calculated participant who knowingly broke girl code and broke Ciara's heart? And with the cast reportedly refusing to film together and Bravo looking at contingency plans, can Summer House even survive to season 11? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below.
I mean, if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend,
it's not good.
What do you think is the next step?
I honestly,
I feel like you ought to get married.
I mean, I would hope so. You got to make it worth it.
You got to make it
at
worth
least.
that.
Do you think anything happened between West and Amanda last summer? Yes or no? Now, what do you think looking back on it?
Looking back, I would say yes. Ciara had, her intuition was telling her something, and I refused to believe it.
Okay.
And then certain things started to click.
So we will say, obviously, Ciara is our real friend in real life. So we have been talking to her, consoling her. We are behind her 100%.
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. Today, we're breaking down the most scandalous updates in the headline-breaking saga of Amanda and West versus everyone else in the entire world. While we were waiting for an apology tour, Amanda and West have officially launched a PDA offensive, and the Bravo world is in absolute flames. So, in this video, we're getting into all the most recent updates from last week, including the shocking reports that Ciara allegedly hired a private investigator to track Amanda, uncovering a naked photo that changed everything, Kyle's viral Move West diss track, and his cringy rebound kiss with a real housewife. Plus, Ciara, Paige, and Lindsay finally break their silence and address this scandal for the mindfuck that it really is. From Walk of Shame sightings to the defiant PDA at the Yankees game and the fallout from the upcoming reunion, we're bringing you every receipt you need to stay up to date with this hotbed of betrayal. So, let's get straight into it. So, if you haven't seen my previous video, where I shared a full timeline of Amanda and West's relationship, I'll quickly run through the key dates now so you're up to date. Or feel free to skip ahead to the timestamp on screen to get straight into the latest headlines if these dates are already engraved in your memory like they are in mine. Okay, so Amanda and Kyle's relationship has always been turbulent, but the real trouble started late last year when the pair decided to take some time apart and Amanda moved out of their shared home in November 2025, just before BravoCon. Though they were trying to keep this private while they worked through their problems, fans quickly caught on. So on January 19th, 2026, Kyle and Amanda released a joint statement to Instagram where they announced they were separating after 4 years of marriage and 10 years together. A couple of days later, on January 22nd, Kyle was interviewed by Adam Glynn, where he stated that he and Amanda were still on good terms. The following week, on February 3rd, Amanda appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where she confirmed she had moved out a few months before, but stated that she and Kyle spoke multiple times a week and there was no smoking gun that had ultimately caused their separation. Amanda also shockingly claimed that she believed she would be the first to date someone new. In a March 3rd interview with Marie Claire, Amanda revealed she was on cloud nine and starting a whole new phase of her life. Once again, she reiterated that things were amicable between her and Kyle and claimed she was manifesting a boyfriend who was younger than her and would take her on dates. Fast forward a couple of days to March 5th, and Amanda and West were spotted together in New York City, sparking rumours that they were in a secret relationship. Kyle jumped to defend Amanda against these claims on March 11th, during his appearance on Watch What Happens Live. And 2 weeks later, on March 24th, West also appeared on Watch What Happens Live, where he claimed there was no truth to these relationship rumours. But less than a week later, on March 30th, Amanda allegedly texted Ciara to let her know about the relationship, saying she never meant to hurt her and she had been trying to sort out her feelings before telling Ciara what was going on. We've got more fresh details on this later, so put a pin in this for now. Then, Doomsday. On March 31st, Amanda and West released a joint statement to Instagram to confirm they were in fact in a romantic relationship. This same day, Ciara unfollowed Amanda and West on Instagram, and the internet exploded with support for Ciara and Kyle. The following day, on April 1st, Adam Glynn interviewed Kyle to see how he was holding up after hearing the news. Kyle confessed he felt betrayed by West and Amanda, and thought Amanda had been manipulated during a time when she was most vulnerable. Kyle continued to stay loyal to Amanda, admitting he was worried about her amid the public controversy, and asking everyone to stop with the public hate. Then, more rumours started unfolding, which suggested the relationship had been going on for much longer than anyone realised. Here's all the evidence we'd gathered in the previous video, and there's much more to come in today's update. So, it started when Kyle revealed that after hearing the news, he'd started to question all of Amanda and West's actions last summer, saying he'd heard rumours things had started from as early as June 2025. Fans also jumped on this narrative, sharing clips and screenshots from moments in the season that look very suspicious now with the benefit of hindsight. One fan also sent a tip to Dumois reporting spotting West and Amanda out for drinks together alone in September 2025. Meanwhile, Dave Portnoy, founder of Barstool Sports, claimed he'd heard rumours of Amanda and West's relationship at the Super Bowl on February 8th. Then, on February 22nd, West and Amanda were spotted having drinks together at the NYC bar Blind Tiger, where they were being touchy and flirty, and Amanda was allegedly wearing West's clothes. Lastly, West's neighbour claimed they'd seen Amanda and West making out at his apartment on February 28th. And as fans were piecing together the timeline and the possible overlap between Amanda and Kyle, another overlap was made clear, this time with West and Ciara. A source close to Ciara confirmed that she and West were rekindling and had been together as recently as mid to late February, suggesting there was some crossover between West dating both Amanda and Ciara. Plus, it was revealed that West had also been in an exclusive relationship with Mejia Moreno up until the end of March as well. Then, on April 3rd, Amanda was spotted leaving West's apartment to go and meet Kyle, I believe to exchange the dogs. Fans once again speculated that Amanda went on this outing wearing West's clothes, just to rub it in. That's where we left things in our last video. But since then, more news has been breaking every single day. As always, we'll take things in chronological order, starting with Amanda's return to Instagram and Kyle's revenge tour, before diving into Lindsay and Paige's reactions, even more rumours about how early the relationship started, Amanda and West's never-ending PDA tour of New York, and Ciara's first public interview about the scandal ahead of the reunion. So, the first update came from Dumois, who revealed she had received an audio file and an email which detailed shocking news about how Ciara actually found out about Amanda and West. The email read, Ciara suspected something was going on between West and Amanda several weeks before the news of their connection dropped this week. Ciara checked Amanda's location one morning and saw she was at West's apartment during very early morning hours. She asked Amanda what was going on. Amanda didn't reply until 15 hours later with, "We're just friends." Ciara hired a private investigator who was unable to come up with anything on Amanda due to Amanda travelling. Ciara messages a blogger who claims to have a video of Amanda naked in West's apartment, but the blogger won't send Ciara the video for obvious reasons. Ciara asks the blogger to meet up with her so she can at least see the proof with her own eyes. And lo and behold, it's true. Apparently, Ciara, Paige, and Hannah will never be friends with Amanda again. In the comments of this post, Dumois clarified that all of this information should be considered alleged until confirmed by anyone involved. And she claimed that she was 100% Team Ciara, stating, "Hiring a PI for something like this is not overboard if literally everyone is lying to your face and you wanted to know the truth. I'd do the exact same thing." The following week, both Amanda and West made their social media comebacks after a little break following their initial announcement on March 31st. West was the first to break his silence, posting a selfie with his friend and internet personality, Lucas Brody, on April 6th. In the photo, West tagged his friend and downtown Indianapolis, but didn't add any further context or details. But Lindsay Hubbard did, commenting, "Let's do a whiteboard about West Wilson and explain everything to you. I'll lead the charge, at Soho Brody." Fans took this to be a reunion warm-up for Lindsay, as comments ran wild with expectation that she'll be turning up the heat for West and asking the questions we would all love the answers to. Then, on April 10th, Amanda also broke her silence and made her Instagram comeback too, with a post to her stories which said, "Hi guys, I'll keep this short and sweet. I've obviously been MIA, but I wanted to come back on and say that I'm truly sorry to everyone I've disappointed and hurt, especially those I know personally who I've reached out to individually." She continued, "For the sake of my mental health, I'm going to try to start living life with some sense of normalcy. If you see me out or posting online, please know that this still weighs very heavily on me. I'm not ignoring what's happened or what's unfolded." Amanda concluded the post, "I'll be at the reunion and we'll be addressing any and all questions honestly and directly there." After returning to social media, West and Amanda continued to shamelessly flaunt their relationship. On the evening of Friday, April 10th, the same day as Amanda's public statement, the pair were spotted out for dinner together on their first official date after confirming their romance 2 weeks before. This had fans up in arms. commenting that Amanda only made her public apology post so that she was free to meet up with West later that evening. Another interesting detail about this meetup, the pair were photographed having drinks at the bar Blind Tiger, which is one of the places where they were initially spotted back in February when rumours were beginning to circulate, adding yet more weight to the claims that they were already dating back then. Anyway, after grabbing drinks together that evening, the couple headed to the restaurant Emmett's to join another couple for a double date, where a source told Page Six, quote, "They made out at the table and then Amanda hid under her sweater. So there was no signs that this relationship would be slowing down, or that they were even trying to keep it respectful or avoid rubbing it in Kyle or Ciara's faces." The following day, on Saturday, April 11th, West was spotted doing the walk of shame, leaving Amanda's apartment at around 1:30 p.m. with his shoes and overnight bag. So much for keeping it respectful. The next update came a couple of days later on Tuesday, April 14th, when Ciara's close friend Mia became the first of the Summer House cast to appear on Watch What Happens Live since Amanda and West released their official statement. And Mia kickstarted another tidal wave of speculation, hinting that the Summer House cast believed this relationship has been going on since last summer.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how shocked were you by Amanda and West's relationship? How shocked were you?
10.
10.
10.
Yes.
15.
Do you think anything happened between West and Amanda last summer? Yes or no? Now, what do you think looking back on it?
Looking back, I would say yes. Ciara her intuition was telling her something, and I refused to believe it.
Okay.
And then certain things started to click. But I'm telling you, I just refused for a while. I'm like, this is impossible. They would never do that.
What was your reaction to Amanda's return to social media, saying she understands the weight of the situation, but she wants to regain normalcy?
I thought it was interesting that her normalcy was just going out and hitting the bars with West.
Is there, look, we live in a society where we place blame. Do you place blame more on one or the other of them, or is it?
Well, yeah, I blame Amanda more. She's a woman. I think men, they don't always think straight.
Have you spoken?
Women, it's like, come on, you know better.
This same day, it became clear that Kyle was done being supportive to Amanda and West, and also had suspicions that the relationship had been going on for much longer than they were claiming. At a DJ gig in New York, Kyle was recorded playing a diss track called Move West, produced by Bravo content creator Giorgio Takunakis. I'll play you a small clip in a second, but you can find the whole song on YouTube, and honestly, go and dig it out because it's hilarious. And this wouldn't be the last time that Kyle would make his feelings known, as the following day, on April 15th, I assume after watching the most recent Summer House episode, Kyle started rage tweeting with 2 posts that made the rounds all over social media. The first was Kyle's raw reaction to watching the latest episode. He posted, "I've watched some hard to relive moments over the last 10 years. I've also seen things unfold as a viewer that I wasn't privy to as a cast member. Last night's episode, WTF. This once again suggested he believes the relationship began last summer while they were still filming season 10, and he and Amanda were still very much together." Kyle later responded to a thread on X that Andy Cohen had posted on March 31st. Andy's post had said, "My team is getting ready for the Summer House reunion. Post your questions for the whole cast here and tell me where you're from." Kyle jumped on this on the 15th, writing, "Are there repercussions for lying on WWHL?" Kyle's revenge tour continued on the next day, April 16th, when he was spotted in NYC kissing ex-Real Housewife of Orange County, Megan King. According to reports, the pair both attended the Page 6 by 9 West party at Temple Bar, where they were reportedly flirting heavily throughout the night. But it wasn't until they left the event that the pair finally shared a kiss on the street. And honestly, this is the cringiest kiss I've ever seen. I've seen people commenting that this was all a publicity stunt for Kyle to get back at Amanda, but I'd love to know what you guys think. So clearly, Kyle is in his Rebound era, but where do the rest of the Summer House cast stand? Well, we've already heard from Mia, but fans were dying to hear from Lindsay Hubbard and Paige DeSorbo, and their takes didn't disappoint. Let's get into their reactions now, before diving into Ciara's most recent interview and how Amanda and West threw her respect straight back in her face. We'll start with Lindsay. So, we all knew that Lindsay would be team Ciara and Kyle after her initial sarcastic comment on West's return to Instagram. But the internet has been blowing up with evidence that Lindsay had suspected Amanda was capable of this kind of behaviour from years ago. One clip, circulating from season 7, filmed in 2022, showed Danielle, Lindsay's best friend and closest ally throughout the series, calling out Amanda for being the least trustworthy cast member, with Lindsay enthusiastically shouting, "Agreed."
Who do you trust the least?
Nobody!
The least? The least?
Ooh, no, Jesus.
I thought about it. And I think in the curveball, I can't see what's coming since I'm going to go with Amanda.
Oh.
Wait,
That was
what?
good. That was good. That was a good one. That was my full play. That was an amazing one.
Wait, what? Can't see what's coming. You're a curveball. I'm a curveball. You can't trust me?
Even more fans shared clips of Lindsay catching on to weird behaviour between Amanda and Craig, Paige's ex-boyfriend, suggesting this isn't the first time Amanda has displayed over-friendly behaviour towards her friends' romantic partners. Lindsay added credence to the theories that she hadn't trusted Amanda or West all along in an interview with TMZ on April 12th, where she stated, "Nothing surprises me about the situation," and hinted that everything will be addressed at the reunion.
Everyone is talking about Amanda, Ciara, and West. Where do you stand on this whole thing? Loyalty, people are talking about loyalty. You don't do that to a friend, and just all of it. Where do you stand?
Well, we're going to be addressing everything at the reunion that's coming up.
All right. Are you surprised at how much this scandal has blown up and how much it's taken over the internet?
Nothing surprises me.
Then, on April 18th, Lindsay made a comment on social media, once again confirming where she stands. The Not Mad About It podcast wrote a post saying, "Just a reminder that Mother Hubbard brought West into this world and she will indeed be taking him out at the reunion." And Lindsay replied, "I was waiting for someone to connect the dots." So, Lindsay is ready to take down West at the reunion. But what about Paige? As we all know, the bedbugs were a powerful on-screen trio, so fans were intrigued to see how Paige was going to react to the news, especially after how she came for West in last season's reunion. But, just like Lindsay, fans started speculating that Paige had perhaps clocked the start of a relationship between West and Amanda earlier than anyone else.
It's tough. You okay?
I didn't.
You're all done. Now you can be silly. You're all done. Now you can be silly.
Anyway, the first hint that Paige was ready to speak on it came on the same day as Amanda and West's public statement. In a comment under one of Hannah Berner's posts on March 31st, Paige wrote, "Being shocked on the internet is the theme today." Paige also took to the comment section of Ciara's Instagram to show her some love and support, commenting, "Beautiful," and "You're perfect," making it very clear whose side she was on. Then, on April 4th, Paige and Hannah addressed the scandal on their Giggly Squad podcast, sharing support for Ciara, but claiming that they won't be speaking on it until Ciara is ready to address things for herself.
So we will say, obviously, Ciara is our real friend in real life. So we have been talking to her, consoling her. We are behind her 100%. We would never capitalize or monetize off of our friend's heartbreak.
We love you, Ciara, as the one and only guest that's ever been on Giggly Squad who's a woman besides a couple cat psychics.
Ciara is a strong, intelligent, capable woman. She will speak her truth when it is her time. I would never speak for her.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess we can say that that's the end of Paige and Amanda's friendship. And as much as we were all hoping to hear Paige destroy West once again, sadly, that's the only public statement she has made on the subject. Now, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Ciara finally conducted her first public interview since the news dropped, and she was ready to clear up everything that she had been hinting at in her subliminal Instagram posts over the last couple of days. Follow me on this quick detour because these posts are honestly a genius work of art. So, The first words we heard from Ciara on the subject were posted to Instagram on April 1st. The post included a compilation of clips of Ciara at the premiere of Your Friends and Neighbours Season 2. The post was captioned, "If you can't trust your friends and neighbours, who can you trust?" Then, on April 8th, Ciara posted a clip from the Euphoria premiere where she asked one of the cast members what to do if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend. Ciara captioned this clip, asking for a friend.
I mean, if you steal your friend's ex-boyfriend,
it's not good.
What do you think
It's
is the
not
next
good.
step?
I
feel like you ought to get married.
I mean, I would hope so. You got to make it worth.
You got to make
at
it
least.
worth that.
And her next subliminal came on April 11th, when Ciara shared these pap-style photos of herself in a sponsored Sephora post, with the caption, "Sephora actually rewards loyalty." Then, April 17th was the day we'd all been waiting for. Ciara's stunning cover shoot and interview with Glamour was published, and she didn't hold back. Let's get into it, and make sure you stick around to the end, because we'll also be diving into West and Amanda's latest bombshell PDA. So, in the opening lines of the interview, Ciara addressed the scandal playing out in her personal life, on screen, and on social media. She told the interviewer Hunter Harris, quote, "It's one thing to experience hurt behind closed doors. To experience it so publicly is like another layer. And then to have to see what you thought was your life still play out in season 10. It's a major mindfuck." She added, "Just know when something's weird in your gut, there's a reason. What's done in the dark always comes to light. And sometimes you really don't even have to do anything except sit back and let the universe handle it all." When asked why she has waited until this interview to speak on the situation, Ciara, always respectable, considered, and humble, stated, "I want to do it in my way, in a way that feels more intentional than just a podcast or a comment under a picture." Hunter then went on to ask Ciara about her relationship with West before the news broke. Ciara said, "I felt like we were actually starting to be friends again, and we had had a lot of conversations about, okay, what do I need from you? What do you need from me? What are some of the boundaries that we want to keep in place? What's going to make our friendship a lot easier?" One of those boundaries was no more sleeping with people from Bravo. Obviously, now that's out the window. At the end of the day, we were genuine friends, which I think was what made it so hurtful when everything kind of went south. Speaking about her relationship with Amanda, Ciara said she was close to Amanda and had initially been drawn to her because she felt like a very calm spirit. Ciara stated, "Amanda was someone that I always felt comfortable talking to. She always felt like a non-judgmental figure to go to." Clearly, that calm and comfortable friendship is out the window now, as Ciara stated she feels more betrayed by Amanda in this whole ordeal than West. She told Hunter, quote, "At the end of the day, a guy's a guy. Whether or not West and I are working on our relationship, you can't put anything past a man. But I just never would think that it would come from someone like Amanda, who has been what has felt like in my circle and in my corner for so long. I think that's the craziest part." She added, "I fought with your own husband to advocate for you. I've championed you. I've tried to be there in different ways for you and help you and get you to see your value in yourself. And so to be disregarded in such a disrespectful way is, honestly, I'm at a loss for words sometimes." Hunter then asked Ciara about her last conversation with Amanda and if she was given a heads up before the joint statement went public. Ciara stated that their last conversation was minimal, claiming, "That's something I'll talk about at the reunion." She also added that she did get a heads up about the public statement, but it was less than 24 hours before it went live, adding, "One notification was about 45 minutes before. I read it with the rest of the world." Ciara went on to explain how she reacted when she found out, revealing, "I was supposed to be meeting my friend at Pastis, and it's 12:45, and I'm like, I cannot be sitting at this lunch while I'm reading this effing statement. I'm like, I'll lose my effing mind. My manager was down the street and came and met up with me." She continued, "Honestly, I was on the phone to Paige for a while, and I was like, I don't even know what the F to do. I'm out in public." She added, "I was going to go home, and then, honestly, the photo was snapped faster than I could even make it home. But I was like, how chic of it to be Hermes." Ciara was also asked if she feels like the cast is now taking sides. She stated, "I think some people are, clearly, yes. But at the same time, I feel like we have also so many new dynamics in the group, and I'm not expecting anyone to take sides. She added that she thinks everyone feels a little bamboozled as they've all watched this whole story unfold in person. Finally, touching on what's in store at the reunion and how she's feeling right now, Ciara stated, "I'm just trying to make it to the reunion at this point. Every day changes. It's like a weird flow of what you thought the past couple of years of your life looked like and what you thought relationships were versus what they actually are. It's tricky. One of my friends was like, you're going to shed a lot of friends in your 30s, but that's to gain more clarity. And damn, she was right." Ciara added that she thinks West and Amanda should be prepared to answer a lot of specific questions at the reunion. She explained, "I feel like there's been a lot of lying on both sides between Amanda and West. They've both lied publicly to my face, to everyone else's face. So it's like, why? So I think that there definitely needs to be specific questions answered." So that was Ciara's very level-headed and respectful take. But just hours after this interview was published, the disrespect just kept mounting as Amanda and West were once again spotted out in public. This time, the pair attended the New York Yankees game where they were spotted kissing and holding hands. After this outing, one fan wrote in to DeuxMoi, claiming that they spoke to Amanda at the game and asked her if she and West were official yet. Amanda allegedly stated, "It's only been a month and a half. We're still figuring things out," adding that she's just trying to live a normal life. So, the disrespect is officially at an all-time high. While Ciara is speaking out about loyalty and letting the universe handle the betrayal with her head held high, Amanda and West are figuring things out on the public stage and PDAing at a Yankees game. And with Amanda now claiming that they've only been official for a month and a half, despite the mountain of evidence and reports suggesting this goes all the way back to last summer, the stage is set for the most explosive summer house reunion we've ever seen. But, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these latest updates. Do you buy Amanda's new timeline? Or do the receipts tell a darker story? And is Kyle's revenge tour helping his case? Or is that diss track just a reminder of why this marriage collapsed in the first place? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below.
Even if you have never watched a single episode of Bravo in your life, this summer house scandal is completely taking over your feed right now. And it all comes down to a ruthless web of loyalty and betrayal between 4 people. Amanda Batula and West Wilson just broke the reality TV universe by posting matching Instagram stories confirming they are officially dating. But to understand why people are furious, let's see how we got here. Amanda just separated from her husband and co-star, Kyle Cooke, 2 months ago. During that incredibly messy split, her close friend, Ciara Miller, had her back through everything, publicly defending Amanda's character and even offering her a place to stay. West Wilson is Ciara's ex. They had a massive, highly publicized relationship arc that ended with West breaking her heart. Ciara has been incredibly vulnerable about how brutal that fallout was, specifically the intense, racialized backlash she faced as the first Black cast member dating a white man on the show. For Amanda to turn around and date him is a masterclass in breaking the girl code. But here is where the absolute gaslighting comes in. Just 1 week ago, West sat with Andy Cohen and flat out denied the rumors, swearing Amanda was just a friend. Even worse, in the season airing right now, fans are watching West actively try to win Ciara back, all while he was apparently falling for Amanda behind the scenes. Now that the secret is out, everyone is rewatching the current season with a microscope. In an episode filmed last August, Kyle actually accused Amanda of flirting with West on camera. At the time, everyone thought Kyle was just being unhinged and deflecting from his own marital issues. But in hindsight, it turns out he was exactly right. The rest of the cast is completely blindsided. Within hours of the joint statement, Ciara unfollowed both Amanda and West. OGs like Lindsay Hubbard and Carl Radke are posting shocked reactions and heavily hinting they are Team Ciara. And even actor John Hamm chimed in to say he's on her side. Is this the ultimate reality TV betrayal? Or is all fair in Love and the Hamptons? Let us know whose side you are on in the comments.
Summer House stars Amanda Batula and West Wilson have officially broken their silence, confirming what fans have been whispering about all week. After days of intense online speculation, the duo addressed the rumors head-on with a joint statement on March 31st, making it clear this wasn't something they planned to reveal so soon. We've seen the growing online speculation, so while this is still very new, we wanted to provide some clarity, they shared. Amanda, 34, and West, 31, emphasized that their relationship evolved from years of friendship. Through highs, lows, and everything in between, something shifted, and even they didn't see it coming. Our connection grew out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, they explained, making it clear that it was something they approached cautiously. The confirmation comes just months after Amanda's very public split from husband Kyle Cooke in January. The former couple described their breakup as mutual and amicable, but fans weren't convinced things were that simple, especially when rumors of Amanda and West started gaining traction. But Amanda's recent mindset might explain everything. Fresh off her breakup, she described herself as being on cloud 9 and unstoppable. She wasn't looking for anything serious, just something fun, light, and aligned with where she is in life right now. Which makes this new chapter with West even more intriguing. Is it a rebound, a slow-burning love story, or something in between?
Amanda Batula needs to take several seats. Not only did she break her silence for the first time since issuing the joint statement with West, a new confessional clip of her from next week's episode of Summer House is going around, and guys, let's just say it's not aging well. So in case you missed it, Amanda did release a statement today on her Instagram story. She said, "Hey guys, I'll keep this short and sweet. I've obviously been MIA, but I wanted to come back on and say that I'm truly sorry to everyone I've disappointed and hurt, especially those I know personally who I've reached out to individually. For the sake of my mental health, I'm going to try to start living life with some sense of normalcy. If you see me out or posting online, please know that this still weighs very heavily on me. I'm not ignoring what's happened or what's unfolded. I'll be at the reunion and will be addressing any and all questions honestly and directly there." So we did get confirmation that she will be in fact at the reunion, but girl, you missed the mark once again. Ever since this whole thing came out, fans have been asking for Amanda to acknowledge Ciara directly. And instead, once again, we get some vague apology that does not mention her at all. And we get it. We get the mental health struggles. We know what you are going through. But to be honest, guys, she did this to herself. This whole situation could have easily been avoided if she just didn't hook up with West. It was extremely obvious how this was all going to play out. We all could have predicted what would have happened, and I think she could have too. But let's jump over to the now viral clip of Amanda from next week's episode of her saying that Ben actually wanted to sleep with her in Italy.
This man wanted to me in Italy.
First of all, justice for Bailey, but now she's saying that he didn't even know that she was married and he had to find out from his friend.
There's a whole group chat about it, and his friends had to be like, she has a husband.
And furthermore, she played into it because what girl doesn't want attention?
Did I play into it? Maybe, because who doesn't like a little attention?
Only to say in the next breath,
how dare you? It's like, how dare I what? How dare you? I'm married. How dare you?
How dare you, sir? I'm married? Amanda, which one is it? Are you married or are you welcoming the attention of other men? Because you can't have both. You are saying that you played into it and you were flirting with Ben, but at the end of the day are now playing victim and saying that he came on to a married woman? You absolutely cannot have both. You cannot say to someone, how dare you, I'm married, especially when you are in the situation you are right now. This did not age well at all, but if there's one thing that Amanda is always going to do, it is play that victim card.
Do you think anything happened between West and Amanda last summer, yes or no? Now, what do you think looking back on it?
Looking back, I would say yes. Her intuition was telling her something, and I refused to believe it.
Okay.
And then certain things started to
friend
click.
in real life. So we have been talking to her, consoling her. We are behind her 100%.
Welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the most chaotic and scandal-filled reality TV dramas unfolding right now. Amanda and West versus literally everyone around them. What started as rumors has now exploded into a full-blown public controversy, and every new update somehow makes the situation even messier. While fans were expecting apologies and damage control, Amanda and West have instead doubled down with public displays of affection, controversial appearances, and behavior that has left the Bravo fandom completely divided. From betrayal allegations and secret timelines to diss tracks, suspicious hookups, and reunion teasers, this scandal has officially taken over the internet. We're breaking down everything. The shocking claims that Ciara allegedly hired a private investigator to uncover the truth about Amanda and West, the rumored leaked video that changed everything, Kyle's viral Move West diss track, his Rebound chaos, and the reactions from Ciara, Paige, Lindsay, and the rest of the cast. We'll also get into the infamous Yankees game PDA, the walk of shame, sightings, and why fans think this relationship has been going on much longer than Amanda and West claim. So, let's get into the full timeline. Amanda and Kyle's relationship had always been turbulent behind the scenes, but the cracks reportedly became impossible to ignore late last year when Amanda quietly moved out of their shared home. At first, both of them tried to keep the separation private while working through things away from public scrutiny. But fans quickly noticed changes in their social media behavior and public appearances, and speculation started spreading online almost immediately. Eventually, Amanda and Kyle released a joint statement confirming they were separating after years together and several years of marriage. Despite the heartbreak, both of them publicly insisted things were amicable. Amanda described the split as respectful, saying there was no major betrayal or smoking gun that caused the relationship to collapse. Kyle echoed similar sentiments, claiming they still cared deeply about each other and remained in regular contact. Not long after, Amanda began speaking openly about entering a new chapter in her life. In interviews, she talked about wanting freedom, happiness, and even joked about manifesting a younger boyfriend who would take her out on fun dates. Then things took a dramatic turn. Amanda and West were suddenly spotted together in New York City, sparking immediate dating rumors. At first, both Amanda and West publicly denied anything romantic was happening. Kyle even defended Amanda against the rumors during interviews, insisting fans were jumping to conclusions. But behind the scenes, tensions were reportedly growing. According to sources, Amanda eventually reached out to Ciara privately to explain the situation, admitting she never intended to hurt anyone and had been trying to sort through complicated feelings before saying anything publicly. Then came the announcement that blew everything up. Amanda and West officially confirmed they were in a romantic relationship through a joint Instagram statement, and the fallout was immediate. Ciara unfollowed both of them. Fans flooded social media with support for Ciara and Kyle, while questions about the timeline of Amanda and West's relationship became impossible to ignore. Kyle initially tried to remain supportive toward Amanda publicly, saying he was more concerned about her mental health than internet drama. But as more rumors surfaced, even he started hinting that things may have begun much earlier than anyone realized. Fans started piecing together suspicious moments from the previous season. Clips resurfaced showing Amanda and West acting unusually close. Anonymous tips claimed they had been seen together privately months before the public announcement. Rumors spread that they were spotted flirting in bars, wearing each other's clothes, and spending nights together long before either of them admitted to dating. At the same time, another complication emerged. Ciara and West had reportedly been reconnecting romantically around the same period. Sources claimed they were still involved as recently as February, which fueled accusations that West may have been juggling multiple relationships at once. Then the scandal escalated even further. Reports surfaced claiming Ciara had grown suspicious weeks before the relationship announcement. According to online gossip accounts, she allegedly noticed Amanda at West's apartment during early morning hours and confronted her directly. Amanda reportedly brushed it off, insisting they were just friends. But the rumors didn't stop there. Allegedly, Ciara became so suspicious that she hired a private investigator to look into the situation. The investigation reportedly didn't uncover much because Amanda had been traveling frequently, but things took another shocking turn when a blog allegedly claimed to possess explicit footage connected to Amanda and West. According to the rumors circulating online, Ciara reportedly met with the blogger privately to verify the claims for herself. None of these allegations have been officially confirmed, but the internet immediately exploded with debate. Some fans defended Ciara's actions, arguing anyone would want answers after being lied to repeatedly. Others felt the entire situation had spiraled completely out of control. Meanwhile, Amanda and West returned to social media after briefly disappearing following the backlash. West posted casually online as if nothing had happened, while Amanda later released a statement apologizing to the people she had hurt and promising to answer questions honestly at the reunion. She said the situation weighed heavily on her and insisted she was not ignoring the pain caused by everything that unfolded. But fans weren't convinced. Almost immediately after posting her apology, Amanda was spotted out with West on a very public date night. The pair reportedly spent the evening drinking at one of the exact bars where they had first been rumored to be secretly meeting months earlier. Witnesses claimed they were openly affectionate throughout the night, kissing and acting completely unbothered by the backlash surrounding them. The next day, West was photographed leaving Amanda's apartment carrying an overnight bag, fueling even more criticism online. Many fans accused them of showing complete disrespect toward both Kyle and Ciara. As the drama intensified, other cast members slowly started weighing in. Mia hinted publicly that many people in the cast believed Amanda and West's relationship had actually started the previous summer. Then Kyle appeared to completely snap. At a DJ event in New York, Kyle played a diss track titled Move West, mocking the entire situation. Clips of the performance immediately went viral across social media, with fans split between finding it hilarious and painfully cringe. Kyle then continued posting emotional reactions online, hinting once again that he believed Amanda and West had lied publicly about their timeline. At one point, he even questioned whether there should be repercussions for lying during televised interviews. And if that wasn't enough chaos, Kyle was later spotted kissing a former Real Housewife during a night out in New York, leading many fans to accuse him of launching a full-blown revenge tour. Meanwhile, Lindsay Hubbard and Paige DeSorbo began subtly making their positions known. Lindsay appeared fully Team Ciara and Kyle from the start. Old clips resurfaced showing Lindsay questioning Amanda's loyalty years earlier, and fans quickly connected those moments back to the current scandal. Lindsay later hinted in interviews that nothing about the situation surprised her and teased that the reunion would expose even more. Paige, meanwhile, showed public support for Ciara online and later addressed the situation carefully on her podcast. While she avoided going too deep into details, it became increasingly obvious that her friendship with Amanda had suffered major damage. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Ciara finally spoke publicly. In a major interview, Ciara described the entire situation as a mindfuck, explaining how painful it was to watch her personal heartbreak unfold so publicly while also reliving everything through the new season of the show. She admitted that what hurt most wasn't even West, it was Amanda. Ciara explained that she had trusted Amanda deeply and considered her part of her inner circle. She said she had supported Amanda through difficult times, defended her in arguments, and genuinely believed their friendship was solid. That's why the betrayal hit so much harder. She also revealed that Amanda's warning about the public relationship announcement came less than a day before the statement went live, saying she essentially found out alongside the rest of the internet. Ciara described feeling blindsided, overwhelmed, and publicly humiliated. Still, despite the anger and heartbreak, she remained surprisingly calm and composed throughout the interview, repeatedly emphasizing that the truth always comes to light eventually. She also hinted heavily that both Amanda and West had lied publicly multiple times and said the reunion would need to address many unanswered questions directly. But just hours after Ciara's emotional interview was published, Amanda and West were once again photographed together, this time attending a Yankees game where they were seen kissing, holding hands, and openly showing affection in front of crowds. According to fans who allegedly interacted with Amanda at the game, she claimed the relationship had only been official for a short time and that they were still figuring things out. But by that point, many viewers no longer believed the timeline they were presenting. And honestly, that's where things stand right now. Ciara is speaking publicly about betrayal, loyalty, and heartbreak while trying to maintain her composure. Kyle appears to be spiraling through music, social media, and rebound relationships. Amanda and West continue presenting themselves as an unapologetic couple despite overwhelming backlash. And fans are now waiting for what could easily become one of the most explosive reunions this franchise has ever seen. The biggest question remains the same. When did this relationship actually begin? Was Amanda telling the truth about the timeline, or do all the rumors, sightings, and suspicious moments point towards something much darker happening behind the scenes for months? And as for Kyle, is his revenge tour helping his case, or is it simply exposing the deeper problems that existed in the marriage all along?